hi.
Start us off, Michael.
Hello, monsters.
There we go.
I don't know why. I don't know why I went for that. I just okay.
You've done
really
it already.
start
We haven't
off.
even started.
I sometimes I forget what show I'm actually on because I'm on. I feel like I'm doing so many. That is whatever. Anyway, hello, Kaiju family, as Adrian would say if he were here. Welcome to our Godzilla Day stream and our recap video. We are joined by some fantastic people. Starting, because we are gentlemen here, starting with the lady, Miss Kaiju Kim, or Kaiju Queen, I should say.
You exist. Hello, everyone. Konbanwa. How art thou?
Hello.
Fancy.
And returning to the show, Mr. Donny Boy Damana of the Godzilla Novelization Project.
Hello there, Michael. Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me. Always glad to be here. Always glad. Oh, Adrian's here. He's popped right in now. How are you, Adrian? Get back to the introductions. I'm done. I'm done talking.
What's up,
and
Kaiju
of course-
family? How y'all doing?
Good gravy.
And of course, the bearded brethren, Mr. Kyle Yount, the godfather of Kaiju podcasting.
Thanks for having me. How's it going, everybody? Great to be here.
Yeah.
And my brother from another mother, Mr. Eric, the bearded Kaiju.
What is going
And
on?
And Adrian.
And Adrian.
Adrian,
The late one.
He was late, so he
I'll
doesn't
not
get
have
a
any
nice
of it.
intro.
I'm not seeing it.
I was hoping my brother's friend knew, guys. That's why I was late.
Oh,
I've been
the
out since, I
only
think,
your
10
brother's
o'clock this
friend was
morning.
excused. Come on. You know,
What's
well, I
going
think
on,
we'll
guys?
take it.
Am I
We'll
good?
take it. As far as excuses go, we'll deal. It's fine. You know, it's all good. We'll learn to forgive.
We'll learn. But yeah, Godzilla Day happened. That was a thing, right?
Well, that's what that
so-
was. That's
Right, yeah,
what that
yeah,
was.
yeah.
the
So,
national holiday of kaiju nerds.
Yes.
The national, yes, of course. Yes, of course. But before we get into the festivities, let's see if we can check in with the chat, Eric, and see who we got here.
Of course. Let's see. We got Michael Hang. What's going on? Like
What's
you
up,
just
Michael?
saw,
What's up,
Gonzalo.
Michael? Gonzalo.
Everett.
Hello.
Everett.
Going on? Adam.
Adam.
Going on? Donald.
Donald.
See what else? Fanciest of cats.
Fanciest.
Welcome.
Ooh,
Fanciest
not just
cats.
fancy cats. The
Fancy.
fancy.
Daniel?
Fancy.
My,
Going
my,
on?
we're honored tonight.
So yeah, we got 15 people viewing. So thank you all for joining.
Nice. Thank
It's
you for
awesome.
joining, everyone.
Yeah, should be good. Should be good. Should be a good time. I've been looking forward to this for the last couple of weeks. But yeah, Godzilla Day happened, like we just said, the national holiday for all kaiju and tokusatsu nerds. So I have to start off with just a quick icebreaker question. How was everyone's Godzilla Day? What did you get into? And we're going to start with Milady again, Miss Kaiju Kim. How was your Godzilla Day?
My Godzilla Day was pretty good. I spent a good chunk of it editing the video that I uploaded on that day.
Which was awesome, by the way.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Awesome.
Yes, I decided to, bring out the positive things about Godzilla, the Godzilla films, even the ones I didn't, quite care for. But yeah, and then unfortunately, I was not able to see Godzilla against Mechagodzilla in the theaters because I had a wedding to go to that night. But I did end up watching it yesterday, which is So I just watched it on my own on my TV.
Hey, same.
still
I did the
counts.
Same thing. Yep.
Yeah,
For sure.
had me a little double feature. Watched that one and Tokyo SOS. Like, watch this one. Might as well watch the direct sequel. So
Yep.
You
yeah,
kind of
that
have
was
to.
my
That's-
Godzilla Day. Yeah.
Mr. Danny Boy, how was your Godzilla Day?
I'm doing the whole thing in the voice, Michael. This is your fault. No, I'm not. No way.
No, we're not doing it.
I actually care about you all and your eardrums. I will not do that. So my Godzilla Day started a bit.
Tell me.
Hey, help me. What's up? My Godzilla Day started earlier on what would have been the second in America. As again, I think most of us were tuning in early, quote unquote early. And I was, it was a little late for us. But I was following along with a little bit of the stream. I tuned into the Big Godzilla Day YouTube stream that totally did a little bit late. I was busy that Tuesday night, or was it Wednesday night? I can't remember. Was it Wednesday or this last week has been a blur. Whatever day that's the second, whatever day that was. I'm not going to try to do the math, but I happened to be on the phone with Michael, a good mutual friend of ours, Mr. Elijah Thomas, when the big movie news came in. So he and I were on the phone, and he said, "Dan, expletives, Dan," and we sat on the phone and just kind of made unusual geeky noises for a few minutes while we let that news sink in. But so that was awesome. We chatted for a while about that, and then I'm like, dude, I got to go to work. So most of my actual Godzilla day was spent at work, periodically checking my phone. Michael was sending me pictures of toys, like, dude, check this out. And I'm sitting there like, man, I wish if I was in a position where I could have called that day off, I would have done it. And then watched took a chunk of my break to watch the Gigan Rex shorts, and then tracked down, hey Danielle, what's up?
Hey Danielle.
Hey, Daniel.
And my gosh, remember the Gigan, the actual live action Gigan short got uploaded separately by Not Toho. I ended up watching that because they're not doing it apparently. We'll get there. And then after that, I jumped in the car and drove from my office to a local theater. The theater that's closest to me was not showing against Mechagodzilla for reasons I cannot fathom. I did not mean to say that. That was
no pun intended. Yeah,
no pun intended. And whoops. If I'd have been on the ball, I would have. No. But I drove to another theater, sat and watched it. It was a decently packed house. I'd say there were probably 30 to 40 people in there, which for that event was pretty good. There was a couple of annoying people next to me that decided to laugh every few minutes. Apparently, they thought they were walking into a funny movie. The funny thing was that started out early. People were just kind of finding any excuse they could to laugh at anything, and it was annoying. But by the end of the movie, nobody was laughing. It got them. They finally got it at the people. Maybe they hadn't seen it, or I don't know. But by the end, nobody was laughing. They were thoroughly sucked into that final battle. So that was cool. And that was about it. I came home and watched a couple of clips, a few things, but other than that's about it. I usually watch the original. I didn't get a chance to because I've just been so busy with stuff. But I'll probably end up watching it this weekend because the thing about Godzilla Day is that you should live every day. Like Godzilla Day. This is true. Exactly. This is true.
That comes from I think that comes from the Gospel of Godzilla.
I believe so.
Indeed.
King James version.
The King Godzilla version. Anyway,
Caesar version, you mean?
Michael, what's up?
That's right.
Nice. Kyle, how was your Godzilla Day?
My Godzilla Day was great. I like Danny. I started things off. Actually, I started things off a little early because I work from home, and I have a lot more flexibility with my schedule as an old man than I did when I was a young man. And so, yeah, I kind of probably started watching Godzilla movies a little bit early, and then when the stream started, I started watching the official stream, and then when they were doing the high touch moments, the high five, the elbow touch moments, I mean.
Oh, yeah.
That's when I would switch over to the Godzilla store stream and watch what they were doing. But yeah, I had a great time like watching those streams until I basically couldn't stay awake anymore. And then the next morning, I woke up, got my coffee, fired up the stream where I'd left off, and like was basically watching it until the world caught up and then the American style Godzilla Day started happening. It was really quite an awesome day, just of reveals and information. And then the next day, like I did go to see Godzilla against Mechagodzilla. I drove up to Portland and saw it with my son Tiger, and also at the same theater Clancy, my old co-host from the Kaiju Cast, was there, and Jordan, the singer from Oxygen Destroyer, was also at the same theater. So we hung out for a few minutes and caught up a little bit, but yeah, the movie was starting pretty quickly once we got there. So that was my Godzilla Day, and it was awesome. How about you guys?
Eric?
Well, we kind of did the same thing. We had a little watch party that we didn't stream anything for some of our Monster with Attitude crew and stuff. So we started super late and I ended up going to bed at like, I don't know, 4 or 5 in the morning, something like that. Tried to do the whole thing, but it just kind of got us all eventually. Yep. So went to bed, then got up, watched some movies during the day, tuned into the DKU TV Godzilla movies that they put on. So that was super fun. And then just basically I was glued to my phone all day, just looking for updates, for anything that I could see, new reveals from all these companies just throwing merchandise out. I was like, holy crap. So yeah, it was just a wave of stuff, but I absolutely loved every second of it.
Yeah. Adrian?
Well, like Eric said, we all pretty much watched start the stream together. God, we stayed up late. And then what Eric left out is we were switching between the actual Godzilla store stream and the official Godzilla stream for that day. So we were switching back and forth. We have one on the stream, one of us have the other on our phone. So we was up pretty late doing that. And after that, I had to work the next day, obviously. So I went to work, and then just because it was Godzilla Day, I had to watch some Shin Godzilla. But nice. I can't complain. I enjoyed my Godzilla Day.
Yeah. Well, I enjoyed my Godzilla Day too. Like I was up late. I tapped out around 4:00 when I was watching the Godzilla stream with Eric and Adrian and the rest of the crew at Monsters with Attitude. For me, unfortunately, for some weird reason, my work does not acknowledge Godzilla Day as an actual holiday.
Weird game.
You gotta go for that religious freedom, man.
That's right. It is constitutionally protected, Hamilton. You should have
right. That's what I tried to tell them, but I still had deadlines and client calls and stuff like that I had to get done. But while I was working, I did. I know, it's terrible. While I was working, I did throw on a few records. I did listen to some Showa records, listen to Ebra, Horror of the Deep, 1954, Terror of Mechagodzilla, etc. Just kind of soaking myself in the atmosphere of Godzilla. I did have a really nice box day, though, that I was going to wait until this stream to show off. So thanks to a mutual friend of mine and Eric's, Mr. Mark Yang, I did receive this beauty here. This Kaiju Freaks resin kit painted by Mark Yang himself. But yeah, I don't know if Mark's going to be watching this stream, but I want to make sure I mentioned him and the beautiful work that he does. So my Godzilla Day was pretty special. I did have a really special box day. And then after work, I watched Ebra and Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla from '74. It was just a really good day. Just a really, really good day. But like others have said, every day should be Godzilla Day. So it doesn't come just once a year for a lot of us.
Yeah, it's true.
But anyway,
but you can't do a theater every day for Godzilla.
That's true.
I think that was yes, Godzilla Day is every day for us, and like we are obviously big time nerds about it. But yeah, the fact that there were events like this going on, like I don't want to sound too old repeatedly throughout this stream, but damn, dude, like I remember just even the 90s, right? Like back in the 90s, this would have been unheard of, and going decade by decade. It's just like wow, as we get to where we are today, even like 10 years ago, I was just talking to my wife about how 10 years ago we were in Japan or 9 years ago we were in Japan for our first trip, and we were there over Godzilla's birthday. And I remember there was like nothing happening in 2013, but then like the next year the American movie came out, and then the next year they were like doing stuff, and then it just like every year they've built on it. Every year it's like expanded and gotten better. Wonderful time to be a fan.
It is.
Ain't that the truth?
We ate so well over the week with Godzilla Day, and actually that leads me to an interesting question for you, Kyle, because you've gotten to experience what it's like in the East in Japan and in the West at the same time. It's an opportunity that a lot of us don't have, and Danny as well. I forget, Danny, you went over to Japan, so you can back on here
about 5-6 years ago. Yeah.
So like, what is like, just from the perspective of you guys that who have experienced those two different cultures, what is it like celebrating Godzilla in Japan, and what is it like celebrating Godzilla here in the West?
Okay, so I guess Danny, you want to go first, right?
Why, yes, Kyle. Sure, I will do that.
I could tell. Right?
Easy question.
Okay, so my okay, well, okay. Let's see if I can try to distill this down into English words. So when I went in 2016, it was for the week leading up to Shin Godzilla's opening, and it was, from what I'd heard before from people who'd been there. This was my first time there. I've only ever been there that one time, and I talked to people who'd gone before, and I'd heard things. Danny, like, very funny, Danielle. But she's gonna. I have a feeling she's gonna be razzing me throughout this stream. Be prepared. But when I went, I talked to people, and they had told me, like, there's just not a lot of Godzilla stuff constantly happening in Japan. Don't expect that. And I wouldn't have necessarily. I feel like a lot of people might go over to Japan and just expect to see Godzilla stuff all over the place, but that's just not how it works. You'll see little bits and pieces, little things there, here and there. When I went, and Kyle, you recently shared a picture of one of these. There's somewhere in Shinjuku, in a couple of places, there are Godzilla Wi-Fi panels, like Wi-Fi tags that tells you if a building has Wi-Fi, and it's him, and the atomic breath is the Wi-Fi thing, the Wi-Fi symbol. So you'll see little fun things like that. But when I went in 2016, it was completely different, because this was the first Japanese Godzilla movie in 12 years, and the hype machine was incredibly present. And it was also, we sought it out, we targeted it. I went on G Tour, and we went to a couple of filming locations. We went to a couple of Toho owned places. We stayed in the Hotel Gracery with the Godzilla head, and we actually saw the movie in the Hotel Gracery Toho cinema that was in the building. We saw it at the Toho theater there. And so everywhere you go around there, obviously you're going to see Godzilla. But when we were going out and about Shinjuku and other places that we visited, we were seeing promotions. We saw a bus drive past that had Shin Godzilla banners on it. We went to, obviously he was all over Wonderfest, but again, that's targeted. That's the nerd stuff. That's the toys. And so I would consider my trip to be under unique circumstances. It was an interesting atmosphere to be in, because you could kind of feel the anticipation in the air. You could see it in even the places that weren't targeting the nerds. Like, we went to Akihabara, and Godzilla was all over the place in Akihabara. But just on the streets and billboards and vehicles driving past, Godzilla was weirdly omnipresent for that week leading up to the film. And I imagine like a week or two after that, that just wouldn't have been the case. But it seemed to me, especially from some of the people that I talked to, we talked to our tour guide about it. We talked to a couple of people at Toho. We got the chance to actually meet up with some folks who worked at Toho, and they walked us through some of the story of the film and the production and some behind the scenes stuff, which was really, really cool. And we really got the sense that that people were incredibly intrigued. I won't say that there was Hollywood Marvel level hype for a movie where people are losing their minds. That just isn't a thing necessarily over there to that extent. But there was anticipation, because it was something new. It was something that hadn't happened in years, and it wasn't this huge, big, bombastic promotional campaign, but it was still there. It was still big, and it felt I don't know, something about it felt very personal to me. It felt like the country was proud to welcome Godzilla back. That's the impression I got. After 12 years, that's a long time. And the people who were already fans were excited. The people we talked to were like, yes, bring it on. And some of the people that we talked to that were more general moviegoers who weren't necessarily fans, were definitely interested because of the names attached and the prestige attached and the early press. When we got there, we met up with Norman England at the hotel, and he had some stuff to say about seeing the film at a press screening. So I would say the atmosphere was anticipatory and excited. And I don't know. That's the best I can. That's the best I can describe it, I think. 12 hours later.
Right. Yeah.
You're up, Kyle.
Like I said, in 2013, I was there with my wife. Flash forward to 2019, I did lead a Kaiju Cast trip there for Godzilla Day for like the beginning of November, and very just sort of starkly different from my 2013 experience. There was really something to do every single day. We had nerdy stuff with so much nerdy stuff lined up, so much kaiju and tokusatsu stuff lined up that I was like, no, I want to squeeze in some of this cultural stuff and some shrine visits, but it's going to be a little tight, going between here and there. But yeah, like we started out our first day of that trip. We walked through Soshigaya Okura, which is the area that has Ultraman Town, down that street to Toho Studios. We're just outside Toho. I don't have the clout to get us in yet. And basically we did Toho, we left Toho and went to meet Ed. I might even be forgetting something, but we went down to the area, what is it called? Kumihara Flower World, where the Godzilla slide is. And we went out there and did the Godzilla slide, came back, went to an arcade, then we went to dinner at Kaiju Sakaba, and like this whole full day. Then the next day, I think we went to the Godzilla Day festivities, and then that was all freaking day. And we didn't stay all day, but it was like an all-day event, and that was just like a ton of fun, and just like I said, way different. Being able to experience this giant celebration out in this square, it was pretty cool. I'd say that the programming that year in 2019 was like kind of cool. I got to see Takarada again, got to see Nishikawa again, Shinji Nishikawa doing artwork, which was really rad. Yeah. And then that was the year they debuted the brand new 54 suit. And yeah, it was just really, I think it was actually that might not have been the year they debuted the 54 suit, but regardless. Was
it for the Boss commercial? Is that what it was?
Yeah, for the Boss commercial and the
that was 2019
exhibit. Was it 2019?
Yeah, because that was the 65th.
Yeah, because it's what's funny to say now is that there have been so many events and so many fanfares since then that I am having trouble remembering which is which and stuff. So yeah, I think celebrating Godzilla in Japan is something that they weren't doing, but once they glommed onto it and they realized they could do it, and let's be honest, like movie making is a business, so if they're seeing a financial like boom from this, then that's freaking great. I think it's like I said, getting better and better every year, and so this year I think like literally was like the best I've ever seen of any of the content, which we'll be talking about. Anyway, that's my experience.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've mentioned before, Kyle, that you're a graphic designer by trade, and then kind of piggybacking off and celebrating in celebration of Godzilla Day, you actually got to work on a really special project for Godzilla Day. Eric, if you want to pull that up for me. You got to design the Godzilla Day logo.
Dude.
Yeah, right?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
This is yours.
That's awesome.
That's so great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did
it was a huge honor.
That is awesome.
Yes.
Wow. Congratulations. Jeez.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Big feather in the cap.
No
kidding. Graphic designer.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah. And I would be a real jerk if I didn't ask, like, how did you get approached by Toho? Like, what was the process like with working with Toho, if you can say? Sure.
I can just really quickly say that basically I didn't work with Toho Japan. I worked with Toho International. The difference between those two companies is basically just it's a division. So the people who run Toho International work out of the Los Angeles area, and that includes a really good friend of mine named Chris Mowry, who at the beginning of this year reached out to me to include me in a group of other designers that were working on some digital assets for Toho's library, I guess you could say. And keep in mind that Toho International, they're basically, it's all about licensing stuff with them. So they're the ones who are putting together all of those crazy licensing collabs that you see outside of Japan. It's all that group. So for me, I was super psyched, of course, to be working with an official capacity with the Godzilla brand. And I must have done some stuff that they liked during that first initial bout, because Chris specifically was like, "Hey, dude, do you want to take a couple of stabs at the Godzilla Day logo? We're going to do a logo specifically for this birthday this year." And I was like, "Absolutely. Do you want to do a retro look?" And he was into the retro look. And I provided like a whole page of comps and like literally just using like retro logos from like Godzilla posters and stuff like that. And yeah, they settled on this one, and man, yeah, super cool. Really, really, really cool to see it like in the theater on the trivia screens, to see it up in the corner. I was like, squee, you know, it was just a happy moment.
Did they give you any art direction, or was this kind of you had the freedom to do what you thought you wanted to do?
I had the freedom to do what I wanted to do for the very beginning of it, at least. I mean, basically, like I said, I created a whole page of different logo designs based off of like the different posters that like the logos that are in the different posters. Because if you look at the ones that came out in the show era that got brought over to America, the Godzilla doesn't just have like one logo type, so it changes for each one. So I have like a 71 style, a 72 style, a 62, like basically like every single one. I see Leslie's asking why the 62, and that's a great question, because I'm like, I don't love the 62 Godzilla, but that was specifically the one that was requested from Toho Internationals to use the 62. Okay. So I was like, that's the direction I got from them. Yeah.
Interesting.
That was gonna be my next question. Well, I mean, congratulations, Kyle. That's a huge thing,
and we want awesome.
Yeah,
thank you.
We wanted to take a few minutes to celebrate you and the work you did for this.
Definitely.
So yeah, that you're living the dream, man. You're living the dream, man.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
So moving into the next little bit of the conversation, apparently we're going to get a new movie next year.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm sure people have had time to kind of digest this announcement by now. And so I'm going to start around the table again with Kim. Kim, what would you like to see from this new Godzilla?
I don't know if this is like a big ask, but I would like to see some traditional tokusatsu. That would be amazing, because with the new Gigan short, which we'll get to later. I mean, they obviously still have some suits lying around, or they obviously they built a new Gigan suit, so they still have the ability to do it. So I would like to see that in a full-length feature film again. Absolutely, and maybe some new kaiju. If they have Godzilla fight another monster, I would like it to be a new one, or maybe bring back Biolante or something. I don't know.
Danny, what are you hoping to get out of this new Godzilla movie?
I am hoping for, I'm going to keep this simple, literally nothing specific. I'm just excited they're making a new Godzilla movie. I have no specific desires that must be met for me to like it. I have no specific things that must be in the film or anything else. I'm not going to go into this with a lick of expectation. I'm not going to go into it with any kind of desire to see anything. I'm just jazzed and grateful that this is happening, and I'm excited to see it, and I'm excited for the ride to get there. So there you go. That's my answer.
Yep.
Kyle?
I'm also excited. I'm looking forward to seeing how this goes. Basically, we heard many moons ago that there was like a casting call for a kaiju related thing that was being put out or being organized or filmed by this director, and like I'm so psyched that we finally know it's happening, and I'm so psyched that people seem to be really excited about it. And in terms of like the it being a period piece, this is
R-rated.
in 2014
Yeah.
when I was there. So honestly, actually, someday I would like to see a scary kaiju film, not necessarily a Godzilla film, but like a terrifying kaiju film would be really cool. But I just don't think that is a Godzilla. That's not going to happen for Godzilla. Godzilla is just too family friendly in a sense, and I love that about Godzilla, you know. But anyway, for me, like knowing that this is going to be a period piece. Back in 2014, when I was there to film Hail to the King, David and I were rooming in this one hotel room, and we were just shooting the breeze at the end of the day. And I remember saying, like, how cool would it be to actually have like a remake of the 1954 happen, but with modern technology, but set it in the period, like, and don't make it like just lip service to the period. I want it to be accurate. I want it to feel like the Showa era, because that's a big deal, right? Like, and it's a big deal to Japanese people too. Like, the Showa era represents a very specific time period in Japanese history, so there's a lot of potentially good things that could happen during that, for this film. And so basically, having this happen, basically having them announce a period piece that is going to be set, I think, in the 40s is what I've heard.
That's what I've heard.
It is
Post-war.
just really, really interesting, really, really cool. And for them to choose this director, whose name I'm forgetting right now, but the guy who basically did, Yamazaki-san did Always Sunset on 3rd Street, which includes a very cool scene, of course. One of them includes a very cool scene with Godzilla from when that came out. And like, I think ever since that happened, people have been like, ooh, could this guy do a Godzilla movie? Like, ever since, like, way back in 2005. It's just like, this is essentially all of these things sort of lining up to be like, ooh, this could really, really be a cool thing. And the fact that he's also tied to the Saitama theme park that's all Showa themed as well. I think this has like some really strong potential, this movie.
Yeah.
Eric, what are you hoping to get out of this new film?
Honestly, I'm like Danny. Like, there's nothing that I'm expecting, nothing that I'm really, looking forward to. I just want a Toho movie. Like, I'm clamoring for that. I like the Legendary. That's fine. It's good that they've kind of filled the gap and everything. But like, I really want a Toho film. I'm missing it. I just love what they do. If I did have to ask for one thing, I do want suit actors. Obviously, I would just think that would just be so cool to kind of give a throwback and everything like that. But yeah, I'm not too many, expectations. I just want a movie. I'm just super excited we're getting one. And I will say that host guy, like, was the biggest troll that night, because he just, I swear, like, he was so mean, because he was pausing, and then at a later time, I was like, you, sir.
You son of a...
Yes, you. Yeah. So yeah, I'm pretty anxious for it. So.
Yeah. Adrian, what are you hoping to get out of this next one?
I'm on the side of Danny and Kyle. Actually, I'm honestly not going to this movie expecting anything at all. I'm just happy we're getting a new Godzilla movie. But if there is anything I would like, I would like a love story to 1954. That'd be absolutely perfect for me. Kind of like how the 2005 King Kong's a love story to the 1933 King Kong. I want something similar to that, but for Godzilla. And I'll be happy with that.
Okay.
I like
Now,
that.
for me, I'm kind of on the same boat. I'm a little bit. I'm open to anything, but I'm kind of in the same agreement with Kyle. I really want a very gritty, authentic period piece. If that's the direction they're gonna go, if they're gonna go post-war in the 40s, I want it to feel like we're in the 40s.
Yeah.
Not. I think Kyle, we were talking off cast last night with Leslie and the team, that we don't want like the prettiness of recent Godzilla films. We want like the gritty Showa style, like everything kind of feels dirty and just of its time.
Seriousness,
Yeah, I think for me, while when I look at a modern movie that tackles like a classic license, I guess you could say,
Sure.
if they're doing something that's trying to evoke an older time, they need to sell it. They need to go all in, and that includes like hairstyling and clothing, and like I just don't want to see things that look. I don't want to see like, here's the modern take on the Showa era Akira Takarada character. Like, that's gonna make me vomit in my mouth a little bit. I want to see just a little bit. I mean, I'll still be very happy with the kaiju film and
just
and
a little
stuff,
vomit.
I mean, I can be. I feel like as an old man, I can be a little particular about things that I would like to see. Like, I will just go ahead and say, prediction wise, while I would love to see practical effects, practical tokusatsu effects, this director has already created a CGI Godzilla for his film and also a CGI Godzilla for his ride. And I'm just going to say, like, I would not be surprised if they were just like, yep, no, we're not going to do a practical suit or practical stuff. But of course, I think everybody here on this panel would like jump up out of their seat and give them standing ovations if they said, you know what, maybe we will have a suit in here, because
please,
clearly,
like,
you can make it, you can do it. You can do it.
Yeah, you can totally do
Yeah,
it.
It's totally doable. These recent shorts have proved as, I mean, the suits that they're using, like the Godzilla suit that they're using for the last couple of shorts, isn't really a polished screen-worthy suit. It's a promotional suit, but they've shot it so. The guy, we're going to get to Guy again. I'm not going to jump ahead, but they shot it so beautifully in the short.
Oh my God.
It was so good, and it's for as inarticulate as it is, and kind of stiff as it tends to be. It works. Now imagine if they hadn't dusted off a promotional suit and they built something for the camera, fresh for this movie, that maybe, like, honest, okay, here's the Ride Godzilla right here. Like, you could put a person into this design. You could put a person in there.
Yeah.
There's no reason not to.
It definitely looks like it was designed to evoke someone being inside, especially the Bandai figure there.
Yes, the Bandai is just gorgeous, and you can really see. I mean, he's got wider arms, and he's got feet. You need to build something interesting for his feet, but that just do the GMK thing. It's almost the same thing. Yeah. This could work, and I mean, this might be jumping ahead a little bit, but if you look at the Always 2 Godzilla design that was done for that film by Yamazaki, and you look at the Ride Godzilla somewhere, there he is. Get him in the corner there.
Sorry.
Thanks. No, you're fine.
Blow him up, Eric.
Yeah, I got you.
If you look at actual pictures of these. Hello. Look at actual pictures of this thing on, like, not this necessarily the toy, but the actual models from the films. They're very similar designs. The Always Godzilla and the Ride Godzilla. Yamazaki seems to be settling on this snout design, these general proportions. The heads are very similar. The spines are very similar. If the new Godzilla in this new film looks too different from this, I'll be surprised. It won't be identical.
Yeah.
Like, they won't dust
Agreed.
off the Ride version. But look at this. This is you could put a person in this. Yeah. This is built with the right proportions to put a person in.
Yeah.
And so
the only thing I'd say is if they're gonna change the design specifically because they're going back to, they're like rebooting this whole thing in a sense, in terms like if they don't want to make that the Godzilla, which I'm completely for, like, try and do something that evokes that Showa era Godzilla, right? Like one of the 7 suits we got, or however many suits there are in the show.
Quite a few.
Yeah,
absolutely.
For sure. Now, I have a cheeky little question to ask. That it's kind of a Leslie question. So
you're hanging on. No.
Too much.
That's all the time we have, folks. I'm out.
Michael,
I promise it. I promise it will not be as
Sadistic?
stressful
It's
as
dirty, yeah.
as
I'm glad
dirty and as
Leslie's
stressful.
notoriety has expanded to other
Right.
channels.
Oh man! All right, tread carefully, Hamilton.
I am treading very carefully. I'm treading very carefully. It will not be as stressful as some of the questions that, as Leslie has asked us in the past. I'm going to be a lot nicer, but it's a fill in the blank. Starting with Kim,
Oh, why?
I hope this next Godzilla film is better than blank.
Aw.
Oh God.
You said it wasn't sadistic. Come on, now that's
Oh my god.
Oh God.
Now you're
Michael,
trying to get
you're
me
last
canceled?
this is not helping your case, Michael. It's really not. You thought this would
Oh,
be the
heavens
stream where
above.
Kim uncanceled him. Nope. Nope. Not happening. Okay.
So, what was it? I hope this new Godzilla movie is better than
Blank.
blank. I hope this new Godzilla movie is better than Godzilla 2014.
Ooh, okay. Okay. All right. I hear you. I hear you. Danny, I know you hate questions like this, but
Despise them horribly.
Yeah.
But,
The
okay,
only
here-
one.
Okay. I hope this new movie is better than the new remake that Disney did of Pinocchio.
Oh,
You didn't
God.
say it had to be a Godzilla movie.
That's true.
You didn't say. You didn't say.
That is true.
Okay, you know what? That's a cop out. I'll give you an actual answer. Oh gosh. You know what? I hope it's the best damn one. I hope it's better than all of them. Top that. I hope it's the best one ever made.
Ooh, I don't know.
Yes.
Well, all right.
Well,
I hope it's
that.
better than everything that's ever been made. Better than the original. Better than all of them. There you go.
Oh, gosh.
Take that person who
Apparently,
has to answer next.
I don't. Kyle,
Yeah,
Oh, sorry,
I mean,
Kyle.
basically, no, that's cool because I already had my answer anyway, locked in, loaded. But I love that answer, because honestly, who doesn't hope that this next Godzilla movie
Yeah.
blows us all away, right? Like, I know that Shin Godzilla did not fill everyone with as much love as others, but man, like the actual movie and how it plays out to fans, like, holy moly, like, how cool would that be if everybody just fell in love with this movie because it was amazing? But I would say, realistically, I hope that this new Godzilla movie is better than anything that came out in the Millennium series.
oh,
That's a
Okay.
I mean, for me, I really
That's
love
fair.
the Millennium series, and I think it's like one of those, it's a group of films in which most of them were kind of like, oh, you guys did the best you could under the circumstances. Bravo, but man, what if? That's how I felt after every one of those movies, even GMK, So after this movie, I don't want to walk out of this film going, that could have been a lot better if X, Y, or Z. Like that's what I'm hoping for in a new Godzilla movie.
sure.
Good answer.
Eric, I hope this film is better than.
I hope this film is better than the entire MonsterVerse.
You break my heart, sir, but
Like, now, don't get me wrong.
depending on who you ask.
I actually don't. I don't mind the MonsterVerse and stuff. But
I was gonna say, depending on who you ask, that's either a
Yeah.
low bar to clear or a high bar to clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
exactly.
my heart is with the Japanese movies, man. Like I just absolutely love them. So
for sure, yeah. Adrian,
I hope this Godzilla movie is better than Shin Godzilla.
oh,
And the reason why I say that is because, as y'all know how much I love Shin Godzilla, but Shin Godzilla is a very huge divide in the community right now.
yeah.
And
Sure.
we need a Toho movie to bring us all back together again. So I want this new Godzilla movie to be better than Shin Godzilla.
That's a great reason for that answer. That's a really good
It
reason
is.
because the cynical part of my brain, like I knew this announcement was going to come eventually, was saying to myself, on the one hand, yay, they're announcing a new Godzilla movie, and then the other half of my brain is saying, yay, something else for the fan base to be split in half about next year and argue about, And I'm not. I promise, I'm not actually thinking about it like that, because I'm incredibly excited for this, but I can't help but see the petty Twitter fighting starting.
Yes.
But
Yes.
but just imagine, Adrian, if what you said happens and we get a film that not everybody is going to love it's not feasible. But what if it tipped that 50-50 majority to the point where more people walked out of the theater, or however they're going to end up watching it, and they said, that just knocked my socks off in the best way possible, and it gives them that Godzilla feeling that they love. Just imagine if that happened for a majority of people, how special that would be. That would be cool. That would be really, really cool. Great answer.
Yeah. So I guess I got to be fair and answer my own question, don't I?
Yes, you do.
Yes, you do.
You were the monster that made us do this.
Well, I'm not going to do that, so we're going to move.
Slideshow paused. We're not going anywhere.
And canceled.
Okay, to piggyback off of what kind of Adrian was saying, I too want this film to be better than another divisive film in the fan base, which is GVK. I am a little bit tired of Legendary. I love Legendary, but I'm a little bit tired of the Legendary aesthetic and the Legendary, the Legendary formula, I should say. I'm a little bit tired of that. So I'm really anxious to see another Japanese Godzilla, go back to the roots of Godzilla, like we've talked about in the or post-war 1940s era. I'm really looking forward to something like that. And let me just say this, as much as I love the MonsterVerse, I still want them to break that formula that we've seen, and I think they will. I think that's not going to be a high bar. That's not going to be a high bar to cross. Yeah. But to validate what Adrian was saying, I too want to see something that doesn't necessarily divide the fan base, that we can all kind of enjoy and be communal around. So anyway, that was a fun question. That wasn't super intense. I left it pretty open-ended so you guys could
I'm only
play around
shaking
with
a
it.
little. It's fine. It's fine.
I'm not gonna be as mean as Leslie, but that takes a special something for sure. Yeah. But anyway, not only was it Godzilla Day, but we also celebrated another G in the fandom, and that was Gigan's 50th anniversary.
Yep.
It was Gigan's 50th this year, and I know we have a ton of Gigan fans here in the stream, and during that Godzilla stream, we got to see the first of two Godzilla shorts. The first one being Godzilla versus Gigan Rex. Now, from what I understand about this film, it started out as a fan film that Toho, from what I understand, Toho took a liking to and then wanted them to finish it for Godzilla Day. So let's go ahead and just ask the question. We were going to play the video. But that didn't quite work out.
Nope.
The copyright god got angry, so that's what happened.
You're right.
So that kind of shoots some of my talking points in the head, because I was hoping to get a first impressions from an impressions watch along with you guys, but that's not going to happen, unfortunately. So starting with Kim again. Kim, what did you think about this new short?
I thought it was very well done, and I love that it was basically heavily implied that it's Godzilla Jr. that we're seeing right here. So with the musical cue, the silhouette, the narration by Megumi Odaka. I'm like, come on, guys, it's obviously Jr. So that was nice for me, because Junior is a grown-up baby Godzilla. People, me.
Your mascot.
That's my mascot. Yes.
I think Eric, there's a couple of slides over. I think I got that a little out of order. Next one, where this is the scene that Kim is talking about. So it's heavily implied this is Junior.
Yes.
Yeah. So I thought, for knowing you, Kim, and knowing a lot of us here who are big fans of Destroya, this made me happy. This made me very, very happy.
Yeah, because it's kind of like a continuation of sorts, of the Heisei era,
Yeah.
and yeah, and the new Gigan designs. It took a little getting used to, but I actually quite enjoyed it. And Gigan Rex looks crazy. I like
They're a little extra chickeny. I
Yeah,
think.
they're a little.
Yeah, yeah.
They look more so like steampunk space chickens than the original Gigan. So
Yeah, they're a little extra chickeny for sure. Danny, you've had the chance to digest this short. Let's just like, what were your impressions?
Hi everyone. There we go. I don't know.
Wait, what?
Like, don't you anyway? No, okay. So this short is completely fascinating to me for a number of reasons. The first of which is that it is fan made. I'm still waiting for something concrete about the canonicity of this thing, because it is a fan made thing, and Toho liked it, and it was it won the gemstone thing, so it got to be shown. That doesn't necessarily mean it's canon to the Heisei series. It just means that it's a continuation.
Yeah.
But if Toho were to come out and say, yeah, we're absorbing this into the official Godzilla canon and it's a continuation of the Heisei era, oh boy, that would make my heart very happy. And even as it is, as a continuation that Toho at least showed, and it was, because when I saw this and the baby Godzilla, the music kicks in, and then they recreated it, and he had the Heisei roar, and the movements were animated very Satsuma-like, which was gorgeous. I actually I've watched it all the way through a couple times and then paused it a few times, because this is where my real nerdiness was coming out. I thought, okay, I'm going to pay attention to the design of this Godzilla, and there are a couple of key things, because I still wasn't convinced that, like, maybe because Final Wars has a shot of Resurrected Junior in it, and that's because the original idea was supposed to be that the Final Wars Godzilla was Junior, but they canned that. But that scene is still in the flashback, so maybe that's what I didn't know. But I paused a couple of moments, and one of the previous slides you just showed, it's the YouTube thumbnail, revealed the detail I was looking for. 2 rows of teeth. Heisei.
Yeah.
He's got 2 rows, just like Godzilla and Junior had. And that's the weird nerdy stuff I look for. I was looking. If he has 2 rows of teeth, then that to me is enough, and he did. That's incredibly special to me. The Heisei era is very near and dear to my heart. Baby Godzilla and Junior and Destroya, all very near and dear. I don't think the end of that movie didn't need to be continued, but gosh, I've always wanted to see more. I can't deny it. I've always wanted to see more, and even if this is just a fan thing and it's not canon, it's so special to think that somebody put all the work into making this beautifully animated thing to continue Junior's story in some way. I loved it. I loved it. The animation was gorgeous. There were a couple of shots of the camera panning over the buildings that looked real for, like, almost tricked my eye for a couple of seconds. I thought, and like I mentioned before, they obviously watched Satsuma-san when they were animating this Godzilla. They got his arm positioning right. They got the way that he moved, the way the tail moved was beautiful. The actual design is amazing. Just really, really special looking. The Gigans all look great. I don't necessarily. You can throw a new design for a monster at me, and I'll get used to it pretty quick. I love the designs for these Gigans. I thought that the idea of there being like an army of them just hovering around like zero G was really, really cool. There was a lot of weird lore stuff happening where they split open and orbs were coming out. Who knows what that was all about? But and Gigan Rex was cool. I mean, this was just such a treat, and I'm a big Gigan fan too. So this was a huge treat, and probably the thing that touched me in the heart the most was Megumi Odaka's voice in a Godzilla project again. That hit me right in the heart. It's just so good, so good. It was so nice to hear her voice again.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think one of my favorite shots, it's the next one over, Eric. It's the one after that. It was this. Like this this is gorgeous. This is absolutely gorgeous. Kyle, you watched it in real time like a lot of us. What was going through your head when you were watching this?
Well, basically this is the 2 Gigan shorts I knew ahead of time. One was going to be entirely CGI, one was going to be entirely practical. And the previous gemstone pieces with Godzilla, I've seen those as well, and I thought they were kind of cool. But I mean, how do I say this? I love that Toho is shedding a light and potentially even helping out. I don't know, and helping out in some way or another with fan projects, because
Yes.
to me,
Yes.
that tells me that
Yes.
if you do something that gains you attention, you actually might get gains you attention from a community. You might get attention from Toho, and so as a, I'm not talking about me, but like as a creator, that kind of generation of that generates excitement, you know, like like first up, like I think most of us probably know, like Toho is not they are not producing things like they were back in the 90s and back in the 2000s, like not just Godzilla movies obviously, but even their own movie output I don't think is as high as it used to be.
Nowhere near. Yeah.
So for me, any chance that someone is going to get to show off their Godzilla making chops, that's good stuff to me, right? Like, so I have criticisms of this short, but at the same time, like the things that I will take away from it were that, like, over and over, and even hearing Danny talk about it, I agree. Like, this was cool. Like, this short was very cool. The Gigan Rex character, the changes to Gigan were very cool, and even though like they kind of made him look almost like those Godzilla egg figures, like that transform into the egg.
Yeah. I'm looking at mine right now, and you're not wrong. That's
despite that, I think that what they've done to change the reasons they've changed the design were cool as hell. Like the blade coming out and doing this thing here around Gigan Rex, like, and Gigan Rex himself, a very cool design, very similar to what we know, but essentially that's all it was at the end of it. I don't think that this has enough resonance to build into something bigger and better, and I could be wrong. I mean, that I would be so happy if I was wrong and Toho turned around and said, "Hey, guess what? We gave the Gemstone guys a bunch of money so they can create a Godzilla mini series." I would be thrilled with that, right? Because more Godzilla, while not every Godzilla is good Godzilla, but like more Godzilla is better than less Godzilla to me. And so I like the direction that this went in, but it's just not a direction that I want for Godzilla films. It's more like, it reminds me of like the stuff that happens in, and I don't watch anime, but the stuff that happens in the anime that I've seen, and the and even in Shin Godzilla, right? Like when Shin Godzilla all of a sudden has these crazy powers that we've never seen in a Godzilla movie before, where there's like purple lasers shooting out of his back. It's just very different from what we're used to. And so to me, that's like, it's a little jarring to see Gigan doing this, but it's overall it's cool. And that's that's my takeaway from this, is that it's my long-winded takeaway is that this was a very cool short.
I think it does. I think it honors the character. I do think it honors the character of Gigan and Godzilla. So, Eric, you were you watched it at the same time Adrian and I did. So what'd you think?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you guys kind of know what my reaction was. Like, I was gimping out like a little boy. Like, this was actually incredible. This just reminds me a lot of anime, like Kyle was kind of alighting to. Like, this is very anime style for them. It kind of reminded me of the fighting game Soul Calibur too, and some of his weapons and stuff like that. Yeah. I just kind of love that they just kind of, it almost reminds me of like an upgraded version of the Final Wars Gigan, because they kind of had some of the similar like weaponry and stuff like that Final Wars had, but this just went on like a whole new level because they could do it CG and stuff. And you know, maybe they just kind of went with that, but I just love that he had like drones that he just couldn't, control them whenever he wants. He can call them and everything. And I think we were talking about it in our stream that maybe this Gigan could have been a female. kind of like
I
a bee,
remember us
like
mentioning that.
bees
Yep.
and stuff like that, where it's got drones and it can send them out and do the work and stuff like that, while it kind of just sits back. That's kind of really cool to think about, in that kind of aspect. I think that's really cool. It's a different take on them. The Godzilla design is phenomenal. I absolutely love what he looks like. I think I've told a couple people, like, to me, his face, it's like a combination of like Skeletor. Like, he's got like that bone skull face that's really thin, and it just kind of, you see all the creases for his skeletal features and stuff like that. But he just looks so pissed off and so mean and ferocious. Like, I'm all for it. Like, he is very similar to the Godzilla the Ride in that sense. Obviously different, but yeah, very similar. And yeah, I'm all for this kind of movie and stuff like that. Or if it is just a little short that we get, I'm fine with it. It's really cool. I love that Toho is taking off the shackles and actually letting people touch their license on this thing at all. And maybe we get a lot more of these. Maybe they start doing contests for people to do this, to submit these things. Maybe it gets people's jobs. I don't know. But there's a lot they could do with this kind of stuff. And I'm all for it. I absolutely love this clip.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I love the, if you go to the next slide, this is kind of a this is a reimagining of a power up that Godzilla has already with the atomic pulse, but it's just been reimagined here. But Adrian, go ahead. What were your impressions, thoughts on this particular short?
So similar to what Daniel said, of course, they really hint at this being a continuation of the Heisei era, and being a huge Heisei fan that y'all know I am, I was really excited about that. Hearing Miki Sagusa's voice again was just absolutely beautiful. I really do like the guy. I really do like Gaigen's design. It took me a minute to get used to it too. At first I was like, that's supposed to be Gaigen, but it's growing on me. Slowly but surely, it's growing on me. I really like the Queen Bee Gaigen Vex. Obviously, I think I'm going to call her a she anyway. She's glorious. I really like how she was able to control the other Gaigens. I like how the other Gaigen was just kind of just wrecking havoc just because.
Yeah.
And
they did such a good job of making those Gaigens like little bastards. Like, little, I mean, that's what the original Gaigen. You see that like deviousness both in Gaigen and in Megalon with that character, and I love that they picked up on that for the animations.
Oh, definitely, I saw that. That's a very good point, Kyle. And then,
Gaigen's one of those monsters where you can actively feel the character making decisions, calculating decisions, and then taking a kind of glee and I'm about to do this thing.
Yeah,
it's
for
really
sure.
good.
For sure.
Like, and that goes all the way back to the 72 film.
Yep,
And
exactly.
this, he does the thing with the sights.
Yep.
It's one of the reasons Gaigen rocks right there. That's one of the reasons.
Well, especially that shot when Gaigen looked back at that plane, like, "Oh, you're shooting at me." Okay. Just animated out of the air. That was awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Godzilla looks absolutely phenomenal in this film. It really does remind me of Godzilla the Ride, but like Eric said, a little bit of a Skeletor look. And this Godzilla was he wasn't messing around. He was mean. The first thing we see is
just about enough. Like, he was done.
Yeah, he looked very pissed off. I don't know who pissed off my boy Junior, but he was pissed off from out the gate. First thing we see is that first guy getting fall on the floor, and then the next guy gets his head stomped on. I was like, oh, Jesus, okay.
Wouldn't it have been great if that one had gotten back up and wandered around headless so the whole chicken thing could come full speed?
Yes.
That
just
was
a couple of minutes of him wandering around in the background while the battle's going on. Just would have ruined the tone completely, but it would have been hilarious.
It would have been absolutely hilarious.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Like this was such a. I'm not gonna go as far. Well, with Gaigen Rex, yes, Gaigen Rex. Because in my head canon also she is the queen bee. She is she.
Yep.
But like that is such a sort of a that's more of a radical redesign of a classic character, whereas the aggregates, I don't know what else to call them except for just the bastard Gigans, the drone Gigans. That was more of your traditional Gigan. But still, even like the reimagining and the the recreation of these characters is super interesting, because Godzilla himself, just to let what Leslie was saying in the chat just now, just looks like a pissed off old man.
Yeah,
that's what he looks like. I can see elements of 91 in that design. I can see Legendary. I can see a little bit of Showa. And a little bit of Shin. So there's a good mix within that design, but it's primarily Heisei. And Danny, I feel like a horrible fan because I didn't notice the 2 rows of teeth. So I guess I'm not a real fan then. So
I guess not, Michael. That's honestly disappointing. If you want to hand off that magazine to anyone, I know a guy.
That's perfectly fine. I will hand the magazine off to you.
What magazine? What magazine?
Yeah, Michael.
Are we talking about a magazine?
Yours in the mail, Eric. Yours is in the mail, sir.
Is it?
Is it?
Oh, you're just saying.
But going back to back to where our kind of hearts are at, like, and that's true Tokusatsu, like real Tokusatsu. We have, there was another short that unfortunately I can't show because of Toho.
The copyright gods will be angered.
Oh yeah, so I forgot about this. I forgot I put this in the slide. We will be getting figures. I was hoping for something a little bit more statuesque.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
you never know.
It's a first step, right? Because
it's a first step
for the Godzilla the Ride was to get the Bandai figure too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That is true. That is true.
Yep, they did those first. They did those almost immediately, and then they announced the X Plus stuff later on. I mean, they're probably waiting to see what the reception is going to be. If it gets a bajillion views on YouTube for the however many days they let it stay up there, before they yoink it, which they will. For whatever reason, I imagine we'll get more of these if this thing proves popular. The word of mouth online, at least in the Western fan base, from what I've seen, has been very glowing concerning this short film. I'm definitely, I don't know if I kind of have a Bandai thing. I will definitely be picking these Bandais up.
Just a small addiction.
Very slight multi year addiction. Yeah, it's a listen. I'm seeking help. I'm getting there. It's fine. And the help I need is to order these 2 toys from somewhere. I don't know where I'm going to get them, but I'm going to get them.
You get them directly from the Godzilla store through the Bai thing.
That's true. I do the Bai. I'll probably end up going through Bai to get these. I know Sean's going to get them in Showcase Kaiju. I'm sure a couple of other places will get them, but there are ways to get these. They're actually considering that Bai is. You can now get stuff through the store, the Godzilla store. It's insane. It's insanely easy to get stuff like this now, and it wasn't a year ago.
Yep.
That's crazy. That's another big thing. That doesn't have anything to do with Godzilla Day, but just the fact that that door has been open to the Western fandom for. That's just cool. But yeah, I love these. I love these figures.
Now, Danny, when you do buy these figures, remember Christmas is coming, so be sure to pick up an extra set for me.
You know what, Kim? You don't want to say that because I would do that. Like, I'm exactly that person. I would get 2 and I would be like, okay.
Hey, Donnie.
Well, while you're at it, there's 5 other people
first.
Whoa, guys. Whoa. My birthday's coming up on December the 2nd. So Danny, as your oldest friend and as your best friend.
Your oldest friend? I don't even know your name. Who are you, sir?
I'm sorry, Mike. You're no longer anyone's friend because you've been canceled, Michael. So I don't know.
True.
Wow.
Honestly, Michael, if you weren't canceled, I'd consider it. But sorry, it's out of my control.
It's gonna have to go to me. I'm sorry.
I wish I had enough money to send toys to everyone. I would.
Danny, I would definitely suggest, like, if you're gonna get these figures, get them through the Godzilla store, because I'm looking at their website right now, and you can get, I don't know which ones you need of this, but the new 84, that Gigan Rex, and the Godzilla from Gigan Rex. They've got a whole bunch of new, like, Hedorah colorways that they showed off, which I'm sure we'll talk about later. There's the new Varan figure. Plus, like, I think there's even some more Bandai figures that got announced that are going to be released. So basically, I think you can easily put together a shipping worthy box
Mhm.
from the Godzilla store just
I
to
will.
like take advantage of all that stuff. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Next paycheck.
The
I'm gonna
84
show-
being released is amazing.
That
Anyway, yeah.
84, I can't believe they're
Crazy.
re-releasing that. It's about
That's
time.
crazy.
My gosh.
It is about damn time.
Seriously.
Yeah.
My God. I'm not proud of how much money I spent just to get that one figure
Yeah.
out of the memorial box. It was either that or a kidney, and I chose the toy. You know, you
Good
gotta
choice.
you gotta make these
Good choice.
decisions. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Next
Kidneys come and go.
Yeah.
You know,
Figures
slide.
last
Toys are
forever.
forever.
plastic lasts forever. Yeah.
Yes, vinyl lasts for kidneys come and go, but vinyl lasts forever for
Yeah.
sure. That's cool. That's cool. But moving into something that we were all really excited for. Danny, you may have to help me with this because you're more up on the history of. You and Kyle both are more up on the history of, like the making of this suit, the Kickstarter, or the Indie. It was the Kickstarter, not Indiegogo. But
Technically,
it's
it
the
wasn't
live.
even a Kickstarter. It was
No,
some
it was just
Japanese
some-
system. Yeah.
Was it?
I don't remember what
Yeah.
it's called, but it was there. It was a Japanese specific one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But this was what we were all kind of waiting for. This has been teased for months, and we were just excited to see a newly recreated Showa Gigan suit that we knew was going to debut in the short film. So yeah, I mean, this is Eric. I'm sorry, man, you have not had the pleasure of watching this yet, but Kim, you have. What do you think?
It looks fan-freaking-tastic. Okay. I think it looks better than the Hetero short we got last year because, the set design is so much better. And because, they actually use, like, miniature sets, like, and then the suits, and then Gigan looks fantastic, by the way. And Godzilla looks fantastic, and then everything is just beautiful. Beautiful. I love it.
Beautiful. Danny, go ahead and chime in here.
All right, man. This was the thing we were all. I know we were all kind of secretly. Every one of these things comes, and we're all secretly hoping they announce a new movie. But we knew this was coming, and any opportunity to see the practical stuff done again. I mean, that's an understatement. We all want to see that.
Yeah.
And okay, so yeah, the briefest of histories here is that this was done as a quote unquote Kickstarter. It was a crowdfunded project for the great Leslie, the great Shinichi Wakasa to recreate the original 1972 Gigan suit, and the campaign was successful. It was built, and it's gorgeous. I mean, this thing is amazing. It's not a 1-1 recreation. It's a bit bulkier. He's a little huskier than the original. But the details are just chef's kiss. It's beautiful. But that's only part of this thing, because we obviously have the promotional Final Wars suit back. I completely agree with Kim. As much as I adored the Hedera short last year, I'm a sucker for anything Hedera. But I'm also a sucker for anything Gigan. But I can easily say that this looked better. Because the set is, I mean, look at this. It's more expansive. The angles that they used, the cinematography in this thing was amazing. There were so many amazingly detailed shots, and the way that they planned it out. There's a sequence in this thing, and I kind of barely noticed it the first time because my eyes were glued onto that beautiful Gigan suit. But the second time through, it becomes a lot. I was able to pay more attention to other things and not just be like, "Oh my gosh, look at that suit," And yes, it really was amazing. There's a scene where the camera passes through a building, and you see all the little things on the desk bouncing with every fall. It's basically just a person's eye view out of a window, but it pans. Obviously in real life it would have been a hollow building. The camera would have moved behind it and filmed through the windows where you see the monsters and back through. That is what I'm a sucker for that trick. They've done that in a handful of movies. There's a great shot of Kiryu walking through a building in against Mechagodzilla that uses that trick. Some Ultraman episodes, recent Ultraman episodes use that trick. It was beautiful. But the way this thing was put together, it was so dynamic. Gigan was, I mean, even the lighting was great. I don't know. I won't go on too long, but one geeky highlight. Getting to see Gigan use his dang forehead laser, finally.
Yes.
Finally, it was for
then-
anyone out there who doesn't know, that was planned for the 72 film. There are a couple of moments, one key moment in the 72 film where you can see the forehead light up, which was an on-set practical effect where they would have added the animation in later. They never did it. It's on some of the promotional material, but Gigan never got to use that beam, and now he has, and it's awesome. And he beats the heck out of Godzilla, gives him a couple of good 70s style bloody slashes, and then Godzilla. I won't say too much more because one of us hasn't seen it. But,
no sympathy, Leslie said.
No sympathy. No, I don't.
I mean,
Let's quiet down.
I don't want to spoil
had plenty
anything
of
else. No, I'd hate to ruin it, but just go, I won't say anything else. Just go watch it. Just go watch it, Eric, right after this. It's super duper cool. But
I had good intentions, man. I really did.
You know,
we were actually.
You super did. You super
I
duper
really
did.
did.
You really did.
We were actually going to try to show it on this stream so that we could see Eric's live reaction, but when we tried to upload it to YouTube, they shut that down real quick.
Yep.
No,
during the download, it just shut it down.
It was really quick. But no, there was a lot of work that went into this suit. Eric, I have a few pictures that I pulled from the stream of the behind the scenes of them making the suit, and I really appreciated this. Like they had sort of a countdown of going like this is 131 days out from the debut of the suit, and they kind of did that in chronological order, just counting it down. And it was really nice to see some of the behind the scenes of the crew working on the suit, and then finally its debut at Godzilla Day. So, Kyle, you're one of the biggest Gigan fans I know. Probably a bigger Gigan fan than even Samson West, possibly.
I think so.
I think so.
It's not a competition, Samson. Just saying. Okay.
So Kyle, go ahead and dump all of your knowledge and fanboy isms on us right now. Like, what'd you think about this?
Okay, let me turn the faucet on because cool sploosh. This whole thing had me super happy. First up, the fact that Gigan got a brand new suit when I didn't think that the funding had gone through. Actually, I thought that the campaign had not gotten to its successful mark, but I'm glad that whatever happened, it did get made because Shinichi Wakasa, talk about legacy. That guy has been in the business since the Heisei era. I'm so happy that he was the one that made this suit. I'm so happy that it turned out the way it did. And all of what you're showing here, this, the countdown, 109 days to go, was just so thrilling as a fan of that monster and a fan of tokusatsu, watching these things come to life, right? And so the suit itself gave me huge smiles the entire time. Every time they came on with something, I was like, oh my gosh, that's so rad. There was like a moment where they had the guy in the suit, but they didn't have the claws on the hands. Yep. And so for a split second, Gigan had human hands. And I was like, somebody needs to meme this, turn into a drawn meme immediately. Because it's like, it was just one of those days where you just don't have your blades. I don't know, something like that. But it was just really cool to see the behind the scenes of them building the suit. And secondarily, if you did get to go see the whole Godzilla X Mechagodzilla presentation in the theaters for Godzilla Day, they had the Hedorah short, as I'm sure we talked about, but they also had the whole making of for the Hedorah short. So if you take that and you pair it with the making of this, you get to really see Kazuhiro Nakagawa, the director of this, come into his own. Like, oh my gosh, the difference in what he was allowed to do for the Hedorah short, which was fantastic for what it was, and this is like, whoa, like only a year went by, like the different, like so many more improvements to this short that make this much more like a little tiny Godzilla movie. I think that like what they've done here is they've shown us that it is absolutely possible to continually improve on and then produce these suits for production. And like, let me just say, the short itself, holy crap. oh my God, it's so good. And there was a moment when I was watching it with my wife, who also loves Gigan, and they were doing that thing that they did in the Hedera short where some action happens and the buildings go in between the viewer, you, and the monsters. And Gigan takes a swing and like one of the towers comes sliding off.
Oh, very
beautiful
Both
shot.
of us at this exact same time
Yes.
went, nice. It was one of those relationship affirmation
true
moments
love
that
right
I was
Honey,
like,
I
that's
love
my
you."
lady. That's my lady. Anyway, so
That's beautiful.
honestly,
Man.
honestly, dudes, I mean, basically this short was the highlight from the entire Godzilla day, and like I just can't wait to see how it's good. Actually, no, not even just can't wait. How can they top this? They can only go up, right? Like, please
Yes.
don't make something that's not as good as this. This was like so good. So please, Toho, Wakasa, anybody that does it, like whatever we're going to see next from you guys for Godzilla Day, whatever that's going to be, like another short, please, just like, this was so cool. I've loved every single improvement that these have made, and like the whole crew gets a massive standing ovation from me for the Godzilla versus Gigan short. It's so good.
Oh yeah, one of my favorite.
I'm locking the. I'm sorry. You go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, Danny, go ahead. I'll finish my thought in a minute. Go ahead, Danny.
Okay. I'm locking it in right here on stream. If next year they put a guy into a brand new Jet Jaguar costume,
Oh, I would love that so much.
and I mean
That's what I was
Megalon
just
too.
gonna
Maybe,
tell,
maybe
yeah.
they'll do with Megalon both because they're logos for both. Who knows what they'll?
Yep.
Maybe they'll do
Yep.
more crowdfunding. But I mean,
Yes.
Megalon would be sick. But just like the idea of remaking a little Jet Jaguar short, like come on, like
They have to do that.
guys.
I'm wondering. Well, I'm
take
wondering
all
if
my
we
money,
are going to
take
get a short for this next year, because the next movie is coming out on November 3rd. Like, I'm guessing we won't get another cool short for the next
Aw.
That's a
Godzilla
good
Day.
point.
That's
I didn't
true.
think-
But for us, we're
Yeah.
getting a full blown
Oh,
movie.
darn.
I was gonna say, like,
Darn it.
I guess we'll win.
Why
you
not
know?
more
Wah.
shorts?
That's trade.
Plus, we
want
still have
more.
Goji
We
Ban
want
happening. All the yeah. There's so much
Yeah.
stuff going on. It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's crazy
Yeah.
how much stuff is happening right now.
It's nuts. Anyway, Michael, you were saying.
The only thing I was going to point out is one of my favorite things about this short is the sound design. Like
yes.
like they threw everything that like they were throwing all kinds of fan service at this at this little short film. And did anyone else like audibly laugh out loud when Gigan's his forehead laser just burned
yeah.
out?
Yeah, that's
Like-
hilarious.
The
Like-
comedy
like-
timing was really well done in this, like
Oh,
the
yeah.
comedic timing.
Whoever was
yeah.
in the suit, in the Gigan suit, had just exquisite body language that matched the original so well. Like when his head the light goes out and he kind of looks around a little bit and he makes the little chirping sound.
Yeah.
That was so
Yeah.
70s and so funny and like genuinely funny. Like a little moment of, oh crap, like this isn't good. It was like, that's like, because there's an element about Gigan that he does have such a personality to him, and there's something charming about that. There's something charming about Gigan's personality, and whoever they had in the suit had him doing the thing with the sights and
Yeah.
that little comedic it was, and also again, Michael, bouncing off what you said, the sound design, they threw in a lot of good sounds. They actually used the Final Wars variant of Gigan's roar a couple of times, I noticed.
A little.
It's a subtle-
couple
Yeah, I noticed
times,
that
yeah.
too.
It's a subtle difference in the roar, but it's a different sound. But they
for
used
sure.
it in there, and I liked the mixture of different Godzilla roars that they used. They used pretty much every era's worth of roars. You can hear 54, 84/89, the 2000/millennium. There's a fairly wide range of different roar types coming out of that suit. And well, not out of the suit specific, you know what I mean. But yeah, it was cool. I love the sound design. It looked great and it sounded great. This thing was just amazing. It was just so good.
My favorite part of the sound design was just him moving his area. There he is, showing off for the crowd. This suit was so the actor was so expressive. But going back to that sound design just really quickly, like when he would move his blades together and just the sound of metal just rubbing against each other, I thought that was brilliant. Okay, Eric, Since you didn't bother to watch this, I'm gonna let Adrian go
Not
next.
that way,
You had 2 days to watch it, man. You have no excuse.
Since you didn't bother to watch this, sir, I'm gonna let Adrian go next. Adrian, what you?
Wow.
Honestly, for this Godzilla vs. Gigan short was absolute perfection. I've always wondered what a Heisei Gigan would look like, and honestly, this suit really screams that. And I'm not gonna lie, I did miss the Godzilla vs. Gigan music in the short. That's my only gripe about it. I mean, but of course, I like Godzilla vs. Metal Gear. I was like, okay, whatever, that'll be fine. But everything was absolutely perfect. And I showed my brother. Yes, I showed it to my brother yesterday, and what he told me was, I hate that this was for a clip and not for an action movie, because the way it looked, it was just incredible. And if we ever do get Tokusatsu again, we can obviously see that they can do it. So that short made me took me back to my very first time watching Godzilla vs. Gigan. So I absolutely loved it. It was incredible.
Yeah. Oh no, you can go. You can go forward. You can go forward, Eric. But while you're talking about the short film you didn't watch, we can park. We can park here for a second. Eric.
Here I'm trying to enjoy it with everybody, and like I just get cramped on.
You know
You're
what?
like,
Hang on. Here's what
it's all
let's
for
do.
myself. I'm not thinking about anybody.
I love
next
you,
time.
buddy. I love you, buddy. I just like giving you a hard time.
We should just kick him off the stream, and then we let him back in when he's seen it.
Right. We could do that. We could do that. We just kill some time. But Eric, what did you think? What have you thought about like what you have seen from the short?
Oh, like I was super excited to see it. Obviously,
If
I
only
did
you
everything,
had, though.
but like it really looked impressive for just the little trailers that I had seen and stuff like that. Like I was really anxious and excited to see it. Obviously, I'm gonna watch it now after this and everything because I'm really breaking my balls a little bit here. But yeah, it seemed like it was next level Showa, mixed in with Millennium Godzilla suit.
Leslie the Charmer, as always.
Leslie.
Actually, you know what? I got a question for you guys. The Millennium, this Final War suit, right? We've seen it since 2004 being used in promotional stuff or in like the pachinko videos, right? So we've been seeing this suit used for close to 20 years now.
Yep.
And I feel like what we saw in this movie, I'm like, wow, it started to kind of deform a little bit.
Yeah.
It's starting to
It's
almost take on its own Godzilla suit like features. Like next time you watch the short, yes, it is the Final Wars Godzilla, but man, his throat's gotten a little bigger, and like his ears are folded down a little bit more than they were before.
I know
Like
that.
if people call the 1964 suit and the 1964B suit, like, I think you could call this one like the 2004B.
I was about to make that joke too. I was about to make that joke. That's hilarious. Like he's kind of got his face is a little weird.
It definitely, especially from profile, like it just looks a little bit different. And I gotta say, like I really did not like Final Wars when it came out. I've been kind of like about the Final Wars suit since then, and like basically seeing it nowadays, I'm like, all right. You've gone your rounds. You've taken your licks.
20 years of rotting.
I got you, man. Exactly. I've got like a little more respect for the suit now.
Honestly,
I think it's all. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say, honestly, I would have liked them to do the Shodai Godzilla set suit that they made the year before for the Boss commercial, and pair it with this Gigan a little bit. I mean, I guess I would have gone that way because it's a newer suit. It's still fresh and everything. It's
I think Gigan would have kicked that suit's ass though because it's so slow.
But that's an interesting question. Like if they were gonna recreate another Godzilla suit for next year, like what would be your preference? Because we've seen Final Wars. Like Final Wars is basically the high school football player that just won't shut up about his 15 minutes of fame.
Yep.
And we've seen they use the Millennium, the Godzilla '99 suit a lot, and we've seen we've seen the Heisei.
Well,
suit.
there's a new version of the '93 suit. There's a new version of the '99 suit, and now there's a new version of the '54 suit. Yep. So and then the Final War suit is, of course, the promotional suit we've been seeing since 2004. Yeah.
Right.
I think we're coming up.
So would you have rather? Go ahead, Danny. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I'm just thinking we're coming up on Megalon and Jet Jaguar. I say we go 73 and go for a full Yahtzee. We just get a 50s.
I would totally agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do the 70s one. The 70. I think Muppet the 70s movies, especially they're starting to be in their 50th anniversary, but like the 70s movies are prime for the nostalgia train. You know what I mean? Like the people who watch, especially because in America they were brought over here, and so people growing up in the 70s got to see them on TV and stuff. So I think that doing something from the 70s would sort of like tug on those nostalgia heartstrings for everybody, you know, that loves those movies. Yeah, I think a 70s version would be killer.
Yeah, I mean, because that's the one to do, because the earlier ones were 68 reused, so that would you have to go straight up 70s. Do something, even if you know, a nice mixture of 73, 74. You know, maybe do 75 in a few years for Terror of Mechagodzilla, but I mean, as long as it's in the 70s, something that you could put into a little short film with Jet Jaguar Megalon, or gosh, could you imagine if they did a Mechagodzilla short in 2024, and they and they had a kick. I'd back the Kickstarter for that suit instantly. It's not even a question. I wish I could have backed the campaign for Gigan, but doing it in America was giving me a headache to try to figure it out.
Well, that's the thing. Like if they start doing this more backing, things and stuff like that, and put it out for American fans and stuff like that, they're gonna make their money so easily, and they're gonna be able to do these shorts every single year because we're gonna pay to see these 10-minute little shorts.
There's an entire other half of the planet worth of money that they're not tapping into for these things.
Not to mention, they could take these things that they're producing and put them on Blu-ray or DVD, and we would eat that up.
Collaboration.
Oh my gosh, please. Now, the other school of thought is that Toho is Toho, and let's be honest, they could probably funnel the money into making these suits themselves.
Of course.
They've got the dough. But if they want to have fans be a part of it, and that's why, because I know there are people out there that were a little peeved that Toho was asking for money to make these suits in the first place when they're the biggest company in Japan. I get that. But what makes it up for me is the fact that they were partnering with the fans to make something special. And that, I mean, that might not make it 100% okay, or however you come down on that issue.
I think the difference between that and they're doing what you're saying is, I'm fully agree with you. Like they are doing something for the fans. Like this is not something that is destined for theaters. And sure, they could eventually put these things together on a compilation disc or something like that if they wanted to. But yeah, these are definitely 100% for the people that love these movies, and if this was Toho saying like, hey, kaiju fans, if you want to see a new Godzilla movie, then give us money, then that is some BS, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Of course. But something like this is a collaborative back and forth between them and the group of people that are willing to throw money at them to say, yes, I want to see somebody build a Gigan suit, get into it, and do the tokusatsu thing on camera again and have it look amazing. That's something that I think, I mean, I will throw money at that without hesitation. I wish that it had been easier or possible at all to throw money at this Gigan campaign, because I would have given Wakasa-san money to build this thing in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
If they did it and they opened it up to multiple parts of the world, not just the United States, there are people all over the planet that would do this. Do it on a platform that's not Japan specific. Put it on Kickstarter. Put it on Indiegogo. Don't landlock it to Japan, and their money would, like the amount of money that they would get, there'd be no doubt that like the campaign. Because I was under the impression that it had failed too. That campaign hadn't reached its goal. If they had done a Kickstarter for the whole planet, it would have been funded in a couple of days.
Oh my god, right?
Yeah, they would have been able to build like 10 Gigan suits with the
Yeah.
amount of money they would have made. So Toho.
We would have had the army of Gigans.
Yeah.
Yep.
In
Gigan
True
Rex.
Detective
They
One.
could have done
Yes.
Gigan Rex in live action. They could
Bring
have
it
done
on.
Gigan Rex in live action.
But yeah, to your guys' point, like that campaign was for the hardcore fans. And there is some benefit to doing stuff like that because that allows fans to have some investment in the media that they're partaking in. Like this is
you
not
want
a
to hear
new
the
thing.
benefit that I have from this is that
Yeah, go ahead.
because I'm moving to Japan, I am hoping that I'm going to get to see this Gigan suit in person at some point
Oh,
in
yeah.
time.
That'd be
I'm
incredible.
sure you
I
will.
want to see
I'm
it
sure
come
you
out
will.
for some sort of promotion. Like obviously I will run up and hug him if they let me, but I just have to set up for an elbow
Hug him
touch.
Yeah,
from-
just
you
I
should
hope
hug him
he'd
from
hug
the
you back,
side.
though. It might be a
Don't
little
hug him
painful.
straight on. That would be dangerous.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
might see a little bit.
I mean, it'd be worth it. It'd be worth it.
No, it
I'll be
would,
in the
it would.
hospital being like, oh my guts. I got to hug my boy.
Yes, but you have multiple puncture wounds in your chest. Was it worth
Worth
it?
it.
Yes, it was.
Yes, totally worth it.
Totally worth it. 100%.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I hope, and this is not a knock against Hedera, but I really hope that Gigan gets the same love and like milk and the same attention as Hedera has gotten since Hedera's 50th anniversary.
Oh, most
Like
definitely.
Hedera's always been that character that's like people have loved for its avant-garde nature, and you can do a lot of things with Hedera. I would love to see them invest the not just Toho, but other companies invest the type of money and time into other Gigan pieces and other Gigan merchandise, because Gigan is one of those other like really iconic characters. For instance, like something like this, the SH Monster Arts is something that people have been begging for years.
That thing
And
looks
it's-
amazing.
and it's
I thought it was an
finally
X
coming.
Plus figure when I first saw it.
Yeah.
Oh, I did too.
Yeah.
I did too.
Now, I've been
I did
collecting.
too.
I've been collecting SH Monster Art since day one. I have more of them than I'm proud to admit, and Gigan has been on my list since because they started it in late 2010, early 2011. SH Monster Art, so it's been around.
20. I think you were at 2010. if I'm not
2010,
mistaken.
yeah. So it's been going on its 13th year, and this is a character. I mean, the Revoltech is great. I love the Revoltech figure. In terms of articulated Gigans, it's great. But this thing is a work of art. Look at this thing.
Yeah, it's
Now this is the
perfect.
prototype, and we've all been fooled by prototypes. But if the actual final production model, I know Monster Arts gets a bad rap for how they handle their QC issues
gaps are,
sometimes.
yeah.
But if the final result looks as good, like anywhere, it won't look like this. It won't look like this. But if it looks anywhere close, it will. I mean, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. This is a dream figure for me. Like this is a figure that I have wanted since they announced this line. I've been waiting. This is great. I don't know if I'm being effusive enough. I don't know if I've sold it yet. I'm excited.
It sounds as though you hate Gigan, Danny. It's
Not
what
a
it
fan.
sounds like to me.
Not a fan.
You're just not a
at
fan
all.
of the character at
No,
all.
no.
It's so disgusting.
No.
God, I can barely even
I
look
mean-
at him. He makes me sick.
Godzilla fans, kaiju fans in general, have eaten really well this year. In the last couple of years, we'll expand it out a last couple of years. Godzilla and kaiju fans have really eaten well. And I wanted to front load this conversation with like the movie discussion and the short discussion, because that's like the real meat and potatoes of what we got to see for Godzilla Day. That's what we were the most excited for. I see you, Eric, and I'm going to ignore you because I'm jealous. But there were a ton of like products and things for us to invest our hard-earned money in for this Godzilla Day. You know, stuff from Mondo, Super 7, Bandai, X Plus, etc. So I'll ask. We'll start back with the lady, with Kim again, as per the usual. Like, well, I guess I take it back. Let's open it up for just free-form discussion since we're getting a little bit late in the stream. What are some things that you saw during Godzilla Day that you're super excited for? And did you pick up anything for Godzilla Day?
Are we starting with me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead and start. Since I
go
called
ahead.
you out directly, we'll start with you. Then we'll start with freeform. Because That yeah.
To be
I've done
honest,
this
I
before, I
didn't
promise,
quite
guys.
see what was announced because I was too busy editing that day. So didn't really see much of it. But even if I did see something that I wanted, I don't have money. So
Christmas is coming.
We'll
everyone.
send you gifts.
yeah,
We'll send you
Christmas
gifts,
is coming. Yes,
Christmas is coming.
yes, quite.
Yes.
I'll tell you. Here's what we're Here's what we're gonna do, Kim. As we cycle through these pictures, just hold your hand up every time you see something you want us to buy you.
Yes.
And then it'll be up to our discretion to pick what we.
I like that's a good plan. I like that plan.
Okay. Well, all right. We'll
And
see what
I'm just
happens.
going to throw another caveat out there. The amount of money you spend on Kim is the amount of love you have for her. So just throwing that out there. Like,
I thought that was obvious, though.
I know you.
I mean, did that even need to be said? Come on, Michael.
yeah. So I mean, we're all collectors here, and to some level and degree. Like, what have we been excited for this Godzilla day?
Well, me
season?
personally,
Oh,
I'll
boy.
just kind of interrupt us just a little bit. I want to show this off. So mine kind of came early this year,
Hey.
but
Hey.
per Leslie's request, I have the Monster Maker 28 Gigan kit. I picked it up at G-Fest, and this is my David's Special Word quintessential Gigan piece of all. So anything that was showed this year, this thing tops it. So I'm okay with with not picking up really anything.
There you go.
That's an Omega based kit, yeah, Eric? Is that what that is?
Something stuck in your throat there?
Yeah,
I'm being mean. I'm being mean, guys.
Good. But yeah.
Of course, Leslie's excited about this. Of course.
Yeah.
Even it already got announced at another show, but but none of my business.
Yeah. I mean, Kyle, I know you've been kind of on a hiatus, but was there anything you actually picked up for Godzilla Day?
I haven't picked it up yet, but honestly, that the thing that took me the most by surprise in terms of the announcements is not the SH Monster Arts Gigan. I don't even know if you have a picture of it, but basically the Sakai kit that has been turned into a 25 centimeter X Plus figure.
Yes, we do.
Oh, yeah.
I think honestly that one is that holy moly. Like I know for a fact that years and years ago when I would go to see the X Plus crew, we would talk a lot more about business back then, and we were looking through the Godzilla Dream book, which has like nothing but Sakai figures in it, or not figures but model kits in it. And I was like, this one, you should put this one out. This one is so cool, so different, and I think for sure I'm gonna have to get this one.
Now, is this another unused concept, Kyle? Because I was
Yeah, I think
having
it's
trouble
basically
placing
a
it.
99 concept. I think it's one of the concepts for 99.
Yeah, it's flip through some of the art that's cataloged on Toho Kingdom for the '99 film for Godzilla 2000, and you'll see a couple of sketches that look like this out there. This thing is. I want it. Yeah, me too.
Are you raising your hand, Kim?
Yes.
No, she was raising it.
I raised my hand. Like, give me
raised
that
it.
one.
She
I love it. It's like there's like I can see like hints of 62 and 99 in
Honestly,
there. It's like
Yeah,
beautiful.
honestly.
Yeah.
Like
And
it's
he's got
like
the,
a mixture of like two of my favorite Godzilla suits. So it's like, give it to me. I want it. Buy it for me. Christmas is coming.
Can we talk about how awesome it is that they're making high-end collectible statues all across the board for concepts? You know, I mean, we've
it's
gotten so
incredible.
many of the standard Sakai 99 that everyone's seen, and it's been made into 1,000 kits. But like the fact that they know people will buy stuff based on the concept art, just to me is so cool. Because we'll buy it. Like, we'll do it. Yep, sign me up.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
For
this
sure.
thing's
I know. Every year for Godzilla Day, me personally, I know, and this is a sticky point for a lot of people because depending on who you are and how you feel about a company like Mondo, but Mondo usually puts out some really good products around this time of year, and one of which is this beautiful statue from Tokyo SOS. I will personally not be getting this, but I'm sure a lot of collectors will. Have you guys had a chance to see it? What do you think of it? I mean,
It's cool. I remember when Francavilla was that's the artist is the same one that did the 1954 poster which is like the Japanese version is in red and the English version is in blue. It's like Godzilla, King of the Monsters. So Frank Avila, I remember when he was posting some light imagery for this when he was designing it, and it is a phenomenal design, but a little too rich for my blood at $585.
Yeah.
Same.
$585, yeah.
Out of my price range. It's beautiful. Same thing happened with the Mondo, the other statues that they've done. I really wanted that Tokyo SOS Mothra. Never got it. But too rich for my blood. But man, I wish. It's so good. It has nothing to do with the quality of the item itself. It's just I can't. It's either that or my rent.
Yeah.
Collect responsibly.
Yes.
Collect all monsters
Yes.
responsibly.
That's right.
We need to have a disclaimer on all the streams. Like, please collect responsibly.
Yes,
Be a banner.
Where are my Please Collect Responsibly T-shirts? That would be
Yes.
That needs to. I would. Yeah.
I've gotten more into art and posters over the last couple of
So I
years.
was just gonna say that. Yep.
Yeah, and this one I missed out on it. I was about 3 minutes too late.
You sent me a text, a very profanity-laden text, expressing your disappointment. I know that doesn't sound like Michael at all, but yeah, expressing your disappointment at having lost this by mere minutes, and I was disappointed for you because I knew you wanted this one so bad. Look at it; it's so good. I love it.
Yes.
I didn't.
Go ahead, Eric.
I would say, but to
But
rectify that misfortune.
I did pick up this. I was able to grab this one.
Was
I was able to grab
that's
this
gorgeous
one
too.
from Tom Whalen. I chose this over the Japanese version because I have 3 posters that are heavily purple, and I wanted something a little different, so I did grab this one. But as the fellow Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 2 aficionado in the room, Kim,
Hi.
do you notice anything that's different about this particular poster, or maybe missing from this particular?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Where's baby?
I'm going to tell you a true story because I also adore this film. This is one of my favorites, and I saw this, and the first thing I did was scan it, and the first thing I said was, "Oh no, Kim, there's no baby on the poster." My first thought was Kim's not going to like this. Oh man! But it is a
Not even in
poster.
the Japanese.
Sorry.
That's just rude.
It's blasphemy, Kim. It's okay. You can say it. It's blasphemy.
So I guess I don't have to buy this for Kim now because it doesn't have baby on
No,
it. So
her hand
that's-
has not gone
I don't
up.
want it. No baby, no
no.
deal.
No,
Man.
they need to do.
Daggone it!
You know what they need to do?
I was ready to buy it for you and all.
Shucks.
Daggone it, Kim.
They need to do. They did a little Godzilla poster. Mondo did a little Godzilla. They need to do a baby Godzilla poster.
They do.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
they
a
did,
character.
Or
actually,
baby. Can someone like draw a baby into this poster? Then then I'll buy it.
You just need like a little sticker.
Do
Ask
There
Tom
you
to
go.
put like a
Yes.
sticker together that you could just slap on the bottom.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, Tom's a cool dude. I'm sure he'll do that for
Yeah.
you. I'm sure he would do that.
Yeah.
Eric, Adrian, what'd you pick up for Godzilla Day? Anything?
This poster right here. I got the Japanese version. I just love the Japanese text on them. I would rather get that over the English one. I know, like you said, a lot of purple because I have the Japanese Mothra versus Godzilla 64, which is heavily purple. And then the Hedorah one is heavily purple. But I just love the Japanese text on it, so I just had to go with it.
Makes sense.
Yes, Leslie, you are wrong for liking Minya more than Baby Godzilla.
Thank you, Kim. I love the calling out. Thank you.
Kim, is he wrong or is he canceled?
Let's just say he's wrong for now. If he says something else, then he's gonna have to be canceled. I don't know.
I've
He
been
gets
canceled
he gets
for less
two.
than-
He gets 3 blasphemies. 3 blasphemies equals a cancel. That's how. Unless you're Michael, in which case you just need to open your mouth once. Apparently, that's
You
how
so
that
much
works.
you so much as blink, Michael, you're canceled.
So I'm just gonna be like this the whole time. Then that's
pretty
cool.
much.
Oh crap! I can't even do it.
Hashtag cancel Michael.
So yeah, this.
Yeah.
This I'm really excited for this. Very, very, very excited for this. Eric hates me because I got him into vinyl.
Oh,
I think
God,
it was
yes, you
about
suck.
a year ago. About a year ago.
Yeah.
And at first, Danny, you and I were a little bit confused because I
Where
thought
is
this
it?
was a 1964 record.
Yes. Yeah. Because I sent it to you and I'm
You
like,
gotta
look what they
read.
just announced, and you
You
said
gotta read.
this. But didn't Waxwork already do
Yes,
this?
yes, they did. They did a big compilation
Yeah.
box set.
Oh yeah, yeah. But that's what Michael said. He said, didn't Waxwork already do the 64
Mhm.
film? And I said, yeah, they did. This ain't the 64 film. This is the 92. And
Yup.
Big fan.
which I'm
Also,
gonna be
Michael
honest.
put an AJ.
When I first looked at it, my brain read 64 also. I'm not sure what it is about the image, or I don't know, but something
It's the image.
the title,
I can see
something
it.
about it read Showa to me. And when I read through the description and it said that one of the vinyls was in like Batra purple or Batra laser beam purple, I went, oh right, duh, of course it's the
Yep.
Heisei one.
Yep.
And then of course they ended up delaying it, so it did not go up for sale. This was one of two things. Well, this was the only thing I was actively planning on getting
Yeah.
for Godzilla Day. Well, there's one other thing I'll mention when we get to it that I did get, but this was like when they announced this, I've gotten all of the vinyls that they've done so far between Waxwork and Mondo, and this one I gotta get it. They're getting real close to getting all the Heiseis out. All the Heisei films will have vinyls before too long. So
Yep.
when this goes up, because they cited production issues, presumably because they wanted to have it ready to ship quickly. But
Right away.
Probably.
yeah, something must have happened. I don't know. Maybe somebody dropped the box. Who knows? But it's the ship sank or something. Who knows? But when they do come, I will be getting it because
Yep,
I
same
can't
here.
not. Because A, I have to get them all because I'm a completionist and I have a
Yep.
problem, and B, because this soundtrack is gorgeous.
Oh, it is.
Also, I love the movie. I love the soundtrack. Gotta have it. Gotta have it.
Yeah. I think what was confusing me about this one in particular, because when I first saw it, it reminded me of the classic media DVD set.
See, yeah,
True.
You know,
that's very
I can
true.
see that.
The
Yeah.
It reminded
Yeah.
me of the classic media DVD of
Yeah.
Godzilla, of Mothra versus Godzilla, and that's
Yeah.
probably what was tricking my brain. But I'm not a fake fan, I promise. I just got a little confused.
Sure.
It's my old age. It's my old age and worms, I think.
Yeah.
But speaking of records, I'm really excited for this next one. Really, really excited for this next one. There we go.
This is what I got. This.
Yes.
I got
That's
this.
that's the money.
Yep.
This thing, it looks great. I loved the soundtrack for this show. This was a nice, because this was not announced beforehand. Mondo announced all their stuff the day before. This was dropped on Godzilla Day as a surprise.
Yep.
Instant pre-order, and then if you pre-ordered it, I mean, I'm assuming this will still count now if you pre-order it now. It shipped, Michael, what, like 2 hours later? We got notifications.
Not
that it
even
shipped?
not even that. Mine
like an
shipped
hour and a
like
half,
maybe
hour?
an hour later. Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe like an
yeah.
hour later.
So
yeah,
I've got-
I already got a
you-
shipping notification.
Mine's coming like Tuesday or Wednesday. There's Kim's hand. There it is again.
I want
There's
it.
Kim's hand.
I want it.
Yes. We'll send you the
I
pre-order.
didn't know
link,
you were into
Kim.
vinyl,
Thank you.
Kim. That's good.
No, she just wants us to go broke. Buying
Well,
her
my
stuff.
husband's more into it than I am, but I want it.
No, I don't
just
blame
want
you.
the cover.
It's beautiful. The music is amazing, and what's kind of geeking me out is the idea that I can get my record out and then play the Alapu Upala song on my record player, and then just kind of listen for the Rodans to start flying in.
Oh, yeah.
Because basically, once you put the record on, it's just like the show. And if you get, if you got loud enough speakers, you can send out the signal, and you can get the Rodans to come. So, if any it'll be. This might be the most dangerous vinyl I've ever bought. But we'll see how it all. We'll see how it all goes.
Kyle, are you into vinyl records?
You know what? I'm not really into the vinyl stuff. I have a couple of them just from like old stuff, like old Godzilla vinyls. But yeah, they're not my preferred way to listen to things, and they're cool. And honestly, this whole revival of Godzilla records is freaking amazing. But since you asked, actually, can I share my screen real quick, Eric?
Yeah, go ahead,
whoever is,
man.
So there is one thing that I forgot about that I think I really want to order it, but it's not available on the buy thing. And this is one of those weird things I like to get. This is a teacup
Yes.
with Varan's silhouette on one side and this killer design of Baradagi on the back.
Yes.
You cannot show me stuff
So-
like this. You can't show me stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I got I got a small collection of teacups already, so this is actually more. I want this more than the new Varan Bandai figure that they just put out. Like this to me is cooler than that.
You mean the one they forgot to paint? Yeah.
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 Oh, yeah.
That figure looks like they scaled up an HG figure. Like there's an old HG
Yeah,
Varan,
right?
and it
Yeah,
looks like they
yeah.
scaled it up.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really, as a fan of that monster, gotta say, pretty disappointed in the Bandai figure.
Here he is. Hang
there-
on, I got him.
Yeah.
The little gotcha ball. Yeah, it's the same. They forgot the paint on this guy too. There he is. Oh, focus. There we go. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's basically the same thing.
I guess it's a little mean of me to say that I feel like they scaled it up, but yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. There it is. Yeah, I love this little
I
guy.
feel like I've
No
got
paint.
so many great Varan sculpts that this Bandai one just is sad. Like
Yeah, it's disappointing.
What about the shirts?
oh dude, all the artwork and stuff that they
Yeah.
have like shirts, those are really cool, but I don't really wear white t-shirts. So none of that stuff is really, good lord, appealing to me.
I'm in the same boat. I don't have white shirt physique. I at least not for me.
Yeah, neither do
Yeah.
I.
I don't. The closer I get on the spectrum to flesh colored, the more horrifying I look when I dress. So white treads dangerously close. So I will sleep in a white shirt, but no human being is allowed to see me in a white shirt. I'm sorry. That's where I draw the line. I scare people.
Oh, Eric, I forgot. I did forget one. What was the company that's putting out the new? What is that company that's putting out the new T-shirt, Eric?
Cavity colors or something like that.
Not Cavity
It's not
Colors.
Cavity. It's oh goodness, what is it?
Oh
I
my
know what
God.
it is. Sorry, whoever you are.
Oh my God, you're
Are you
drawing.
talking about
shoot.
Ghost X Ghost? You're talking about a company here in the States?
I don't
Are you
know
talking
if
about
it's Ghost X-
Crunchyroll?
Maybe because they had like
I think
because
Crunchyroll
they
did
had like
announce some stuff.
I'm pretty sure. It
yeah
was,
because they had like the
Yeah.
pink Godzilla little. They had like the pink little
Yes, the
Godzilla sweatshirt.
The little
that's-
Godzilla
yeah, yeah, yeah.
sweatshirt. Yeah.
yeah,
yeah.
that's Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
That's Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Crunchyroll.
Crunchyroll.
Okay, yeah, Crunchyroll, because I know Ghost X Ghost was doing some stuff. They just released a really sweet Godzilla 1964 shirt, and their Baragon shirt looks gorgeous. But I was trying to remember what T-shirt company it was what company it was that showed off some T-shirts, and I forgot to get that image when I was scrolling through stuff. There's just so much. There's just so much to go over. And we saw a bunch of re-release. If you watch the Godzilla stream, the Godzilla store stream, I should say, we saw a few re-releases, specifically this chunky bastard here.
Yep.
The gigantic series 1962, which is really interesting, and I think it's going to be a good grab for people who missed out or who haven't had a chance to get the other releases yet, because it comes with this really interesting little Rick. The name of this mascot is escaping me.
Passion Boy or Traveling
Boy.
Boy.
Poshy boy.
Yeah.
Pushing boy.
Yeah. So like that, I feel like that's a really interesting Rick extra that they gave us. Plus, it's a light up.
PSA for people in the chat: don't click the weird spammy thing that just popped in.
He's already blocked.
Oh
Okay.
yeah,
Oh, it's gone. Okay, disappeared. Good.
it's been blocked.
Okay, never mind. Wow. Okay.
Eric, I know that I know Kyle was bringing Kyle and Danny were both there. There they are.
Really?
Yes. The new Crunchyroll shirts, the baby Godzilla sweatshirt.
Here you go, Kim.
Oh, gimme! I
Yeah.
want it.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's very 90s vibe. I actually like that too.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm a
That's
'90s
very
baby,
much
so
so.
it's perfect for me.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
same.
Kim, this would be
Oh, that's
great
totally
for
90s vibe.
a good streaming shirt to have on.
Yes, I
during
need
every
yeah.
it.
chill
Give it
episode.
to me.
Definitely.
So someone buy it for me, please.
For
Thank you.
real, for real. That's
I've been
awesome.
I've been a big fan of some of these tie-dye these tie-dye pattern shirts that they've been putting out from
Ooh,
That's
I
pretty
might
cool.
need that one.
Yes. Yes.
It's simple, but it
yes.
works. It works really well.
It does.
It does.
It's such a
It
loud
does.
color, though. It's like
It
It's
is
very
loud.
green.
black.
It is exceptionally green. That's the
Yeah.
greenest thing I think I've seen all day.
Like I
My
can
gosh,
hear it
look
through
at
the
that.
screen. It's so loud.
Yeah.
all the Crunchyroll designs are like that. Like ever since they got the license, they have been putting out very loud clothing. I'm not in the fan camp
like that
of
shirt.
Crunchyroll's designs. For
No,
the most part,
I'm
they
with-
almost have entirely pulled artwork from the old IDW comics, which is
Yeah.
a little lazy as a designer. But
Yeah. We'll just get we don't have to. We don't
It's
have to
called-
pay you artists to do anything.
It's called using your resources wisely, Kyle. Come on.
I mean,
That's
wisely,
one way to
that's
say it, I
that's up to interpretation. I think.
I know because I was gonna say that Kyle, you and Danny were talking about the new 84 that's coming out. So let's go ahead and show that one because that sucker has not been released in some time.
Yep.
There it is.
This thing.
Um,
I want it.
Gonna grab mine. Where is
I
it?
want it.
When I get mine, Kim, I got you.
Everything on the stream tonight is within arm's reach in my collection. That's
Of
hilarious.
course it is.
go
There
figure.
There it
Go
is.
figure. Ah, you made it funny.
Go figure. Nice. Very nice. This figure is for anybody who doesn't have it out there. This is one of the best 6-inchers that Bandai's ever done of a Godzilla
Oh,
figure.
yeah.
This is one of the best. This is one of the best. It's beautifully made. It's gosh, it's so good, and it was locked into the 50th anniversary memorial box until right now. This is the first release that it's had since 2004, and that's bonkers that it's taken this long. And there are still a couple of other figures that are locked into that box, like the 55 and the 75, and I think maybe one other one. But
64.
64 is locked in there.
62 is locked in that
62
box.
locked in that box.
Yeah, that sculpt is. The 65 is as well, and 67. Musko Goji's locked in.
Mhm.
But I mean, this thing it gets the.
It brings my value down.
Yeah.
My poor box set, they're gonna destroy it.
I'm not worth nearly as much money as I was earlier. I'll leave. There he goes. But yeah,
I mean,
it's a great figure. I'm glad more people will get
Yeah.
to get this guy because this is a missing part of a lot of people's vinyl collections.
Definitely.
Go get this. It's great.
Mhm.
For sure. Like
Yeah.
we got to see a crap ton of stuff the last couple of days. And to keep the puns rolling, speaking of crap, the next slide, Eric.
Oh no,
God.
there he is.
No,
Oh.
other way.
Oh, the fun one. Oh yeah.
Oh,
The fun
my
one.
God.
He looks like a big
This
s'more. He looks
disgusting
like a s'more.
looking.
They're
Good
moldy.
Lord.
Well,
It's moldy.
Michael, tread carefully.
I think we described when we first. I don't know if it was because some of us were drinking or if it was late.
No, that's why.
It was late.
or
It was late. We were getting
a
loopy.
potent mixture of both, perhaps.
I don't know. But someone in the stream described this as
Oh, no.
petrified dog poop.
Oh no! And now
I
that
mean, he's
cannot
not
be
wrong.
unseen. There it is. Either that, or he's been outside and the birds have been using him as target practice.
Yes.
That too.
Oh,
But
my
I
God.
think this is supposed to be a chocolate or dessert Hedora. I think that's
Supposed
what
to be
this
chocolate.
is meant to be.
Poopy
Chocolate.
Okay.
Yeah.
First of all, why? Second of all, I'm buying it. Third of all, why? Why? I don't understand. Like that. Okay. The thing about Hedorah that I love I love Hedorah. I love the movie. I love the monster. But he's so open to like the design in terms of merchandise is so wildly open to different paint schemes and interpretations in terms of the color schemes. You know, when I was, I don't know how long ago it was, I saw Godzilla Island, the show with the toys. It's like that's one of my favorite Godzilla things on the planet is Godzilla Island. I am not sorry. I love it. And there's a Godzilla. Listen to me. There's a Hedorah variant in that show that's light blue with pink splotches. He's supposed to be like toxic. The Neo Hedorah, and that's the first time I ever saw that design and said, "Man, you could throw all kinds of different paint on this thing, and it would look amazing."
Yeah.
And then I saw this, and no, I tease it. I actually kind of like it in a weird way. Like there's something. This proves to me you can do pretty much anything with Hedorah color wise, and it will weirdly work in a weird way. I don't know how this one will sell. It kind of looks like s'mores. It's giving me marshmallow chocolatey vibes. But
I think that's what it's meant to
that's
be.
what it is.
Kind of. Yeah.
It's supposed to be like a chocolate bar Hedorah. But again,
No,
why?
to me, it just looks like chocolate with mold on it.
Oh gosh.
That too.
Yeah, it kind of does. It looks like chocolate you probably should have eaten last Halloween.
Yeah.
You know,
possibly,
or two Halloweens ago.
Possibly. I mean, the fun thing about Hedorah is it's such a great palette. I've heard the guys at Collect All Monsters talk about this. You know, we've talked about this. Hedorah is such a great palette to do some really weird and interesting things. And we can always count on Eric. I think it's the next slide or a couple slides back. We can always count on companies like Marathon to put out some brand new things for us to buy that are Hedorah focused. It's not these two that I'm interested in. I think it's the gold one. It's the gold one that I'm super interested in. That's I have a thing for gold. I don't know what it is. I think the combination of gold and pink here is gorgeous. I love gold. But yes, I think these are gorgeous. I think these are gorgeous. And really, what was really interesting to me about I think they showed the behind the scenes of Marathon building the kit, painting the kit, and that's always really fun.
The guy from the Godzilla store actually got to pull the vinyl from the molds.
Yes,
that was honestly cool to see. That was one of the coolest things I've seen on any of these Godzilla store or Godzilla Day streams. Like really cool.
Yeah. I just like the antique. I like the metallic gold here, and then the antique.
And he got to paint it too, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
I think so.
He sat
the whole process
in the
from
chair too, and
so
just
cool.
boop, boop, boop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So cool.
I think so.
So cool.
I think so. But we're gonna have to start landing the plane here in just a second. This has been a really wonderful stream, so thank you guys for popping on here. But you know, this year has been really wonderful. But next year, we got a lot to look forward to as well. And we've already got a couple of logos they showed off. I think I pulled this post from August Ragone on Twitter is where I first saw it. So we're going to be celebrating Jet Jaguar.
Yeah. The PowerPoint presentation that they had for Godzilla Fest. Yeah.
Was that? Yeah. But we're going to be celebrating these two. We're going to be celebrating Megalon and Jet Jaguar next year. And that's super exciting. Yeah. So I really hope that we get, I don't know if we will. I doubt it, but I really hope we get a new Jet Jaguar suit or a new Megalon suit to pair with the new Gigan suit.
That'd be awesome.
That would be cool.
Do a 2-versus-1 with Jet Jaguar winning, of course, you know, because everyone loves Jet. But looking forward to next year. It's gonna be really great. Does anyone, before we close out, anyone have any final thoughts? Starting with Kim, what are your final thoughts on this past Godzilla Day?
I think it was a good Godzilla Day. Again, I wish I could have enjoyed more of it because I had other obligations. But from what I've seen and from what I've seen on the stream and on that day, I like what I saw, and I'm looking forward to what they have for us next year, especially the new Toho film. I'm really excited to see a new Godzilla film being made by Toho. So it's like authentic Godzilla. So I'm very much looking forward to that. So yeah, that's me.
Yeah. Danny boy.
Godzilla Day is always, because I mentioned earlier, live every day like Godzilla Day, but as you guys pointed out, that isn't completely possible considering all the cool stuff that they throw at us on Godzilla Day. You know, it's just, you don't get to go see a movie in the theater every day, a Godzilla movie in the theater every day. You don't get an announcement of a new movie or 2 new shorts or this incredible avalanche of merchandise, or the live streams, or any of this stuff. That's not an everyday thing. And that's something that makes Godzilla Day incredibly unique. It's something that I'm so pardon me. I'm so grateful that they do. I'm so grateful that Toho is putting the time and the energy into doing stuff like this, into doing these streams, into, you know, making all of these things. It's a level of fan interaction and fan connection that, again, as Kyle, as you mentioned, just would not have happened 10 years ago or 20 years, like, all the way back. I mean, this is a relatively recent phenomenon with Godzilla, and there's something really, really special about that. That's one aspect of why I really enjoy Godzilla Day and why this one was so special. But the other aspect is that I consider Godzilla Day to be a kind of pivotal recentering point, because all of us in this stream, you know, live and breathe this stuff, you know, every day to some degree. There's obviously a lot more to our lives and who we are as people than just this thing we all love, but it is a significant aspect to us. It's not who we are, but it's so incredibly important to us. And sometimes we spend... What was that now?
I said it's who I am.
I'm going to write down the name of a psychiatrist for it. No, I'm just kidding. It is, you know, like
Godzilla.
But it is an incredibly important part of us as people in our lives, and the way that we look at the world. It's part of our worldview. It's part of, I mean, we decorate our homes in this stuff. And after a while, at least this is how it works for me, sometimes when it comes to this stuff, I talk to a lot of people online, and I jump onto podcasts and live streams, and I collect this stuff, and I write about this stuff, and I do all this stuff. Sometimes I'm so in the thick of all of that the part of my brain that says, you know, you should just sit down and watch one of these movies kind of gets shoved to the side, because I'm so focused on participating in other ways that I sometimes forget to stop and slow down and say, man, how long has it been since I've seen Godzilla against Mechagodzilla? Oh, it's been way too long. Or how long has it been since I've fill in the blank with any of these films? So to me, it's, yes, Nathan, he is. Yes, he is. But there's something important about a day where he's Godzilla, the character, and what he means to all of us is so on the mind that it is important to take that time to sit down, put in a Godzilla movie, just sit back and watch it and have fun, reconnect with the joy that it brings you, and just kind of recenter, refocus, and just take a deep breath and think, man, I just love this stuff. That's important. That's important to do. And that's something that Godzilla Day, that's something that's what Godzilla Day means to me. It's a moment to really stop and think and be grateful for the impact that this thing has had on my life. A lot of where I am in my life right now, personally and even professionally outside of this stuff, I owe to my Godzilla fandom. And it's a day to be grateful for a lot of things. That's how I see it. And there's a lot I could say about how great Godzilla Day is, but it's a very personal thing for all of us. And it means a lot. And this one was really, really, really special. It really, really was.
Kyle, any parting words for the folks on Godzilla Day?
Well, the sage bearded wisdom says
We didn't have none of them Godzilla stuff back when I was a child.
No, I mean, I said it before, and I'll just echo that same sentiment. This is, man, when I think about where we were 20 years ago as a fandom, I never thought we would be experiencing this kind of interactivity, right? Like, and year by year, I just keep getting surprised in good ways by this festival and celebration of Godzilla. And I think that this year, as I said before, had the best content that fans even in Japan could see, as well as fans across the world. And for me, I think that I would just say that next year has got to be freaking nuts, right? 2023's Godzilla Day, with the release of this new Godzilla film, with what we've been seeing year after year, building and what Japan is doing for Godzilla Day. Like 2023 is going to be absolutely bonkers fun. So I would say if you're interested in experiencing a Godzilla Day in person, November 2023 might be a good chance for you to do it. So
Yeah.
I would
secretly hoping
yeah.
I get to
Yeah.
do. I'm
Yeah.
secretly hoping I'm in Japan next year to coincide with it. That's a I don't know how it's going to work out money wise or time wise or job anything, but that would be just.
Allow me to say that right now is the best time to be spending for Japan.
Yes.
Is the exchange rate
Yes.
from America to Japan is highly favorable on the American dollar, more so than it has been in 30 years.
long time.
So
Music to my broke
yeah.
ears, right there.
Amen.
So I would say that, like, if you are interested in that kind of thing, you could probably preload some of the purchases, like your hotel and stuff like that, to take advantage of the rates. Just one of my 1,000 pieces of advice I could give on trying to go to Godzilla Day. But yeah, I would say that this year's going to be nuts. Next year, the 70th anniversary, right, is going to be nuts too. So, I mean, 2024. So this is bring on whatever's coming next. That's what I got to say.
Yeah. A lot to be grateful
Adrian?
for.
This year for Godzilla Day, like everybody said here, has been probably the biggest we've gotten ever in the Godzilla fandom. Because like Kyle said, 20 years ago, I guess I'll show my age. 20 years ago, I thought me and my brother were the only people that like Godzilla on the planet. To put it lightly. And seeing where we are now today is just outstanding. And like Danny said, it's just a day where we just sit back and just enjoy something that a lot of us really help grow us up as people, and really has a special place in each and every one of our hearts. And we all have special people that we can talk to and enjoy the day with now. So that's what Godzilla Day means to me.
Eric?
Yeah, I mean, I can echo each one of you. I just love that the Japanese are doing more with it, making it a bigger event, making it, kind of adding on to it each year and stuff like that. Just seeing that there is people that want to see this, that want to go to it. Obviously there is money involved in it. And it's just nice for us to see that kind of stuff because, obviously we don't get that kind of stuff over here. We get little bits here and there, obviously showing the movie, in some select theaters, not mine, and everything. But a little salty.
It's not like you would
that.
probably watch it anyway.
Ooh.
Considering you don't like watching things.
I did. Anyways, but I just love that, like, nowadays, like, where we are and that the technology that we have, we can actually watch it with people like you guys, together as fans. We can gush about it. We can just talk about it. It's fun. It's so good because, I mean, Adrian kind of touched on it a little bit, like 30 years ago, we didn't have this kind of stuff. You thought you were the only fan in the world that liked this stuff, and you thought you were weird for liking it. And that's literally how I felt. And now it's like, I love sharing it with everybody. I love talking to everybody. I love meeting new people that love this fandom like I do. And just seeing, like, us as a society embracing it more and more, it warms my heart. It really does. And I can't wait to see, what the future holds, for the Big G himself. So, but yeah, it was a blast. It was so much fun to see all the stuff. Obviously I get to save some money in my wallet because I'm not really buying anything. So that's
same.
really nice. Except for, a couple things, but nothing too crazy. And then, I'll get off here and I'll go watch the short, and make everybody happy and everything. But it was fun.
Expect a full report.
Yeah, we're gonna need you to sign documentation that proves that you actually.
Oh no, we're saying here while he's watching the short.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We want it. It may not be on stream, but we're gonna watch you watch it, Eric.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Back when GVK came out, and it was at the height of that thing, at the height of that popularity post-pandemic, and you get it in the theaters coming back and a resurgence. Had a really interesting conversation with a coworker who is not a Godzilla fan. We were in a meeting one day, and she asks me, she says, "Hey, have you been able to see that new Godzilla film? I took my nephew to go see it, and he loved it. And that is what we that is what we wanted as kids. Like Godzilla, we've invested our time, we've invested our money, we've invested our resources in streams like this, we've invested our talents in celebrating this character. And it, like you said, Eric, it feels as though for years we kind of had to hide that, but now it's become a little bit more mainstream. I'm not going to say it's ever going to become like Marvel mainstream, but it's become a little bit more mainstream. It's in the mainstream consciousness now more than it has been in years. And that feels really good. It feels really validating for like the years that we have loved this thing. So now other people can love this thing. So I will end on that. And also I want to mention too, there's a ton of stuff that came out as far as products and whatnot for Godzilla Day, so much so that we could not talk about it on this stream or else we would have been here for like 6 hours. But if you want to find a good website to go to learn all about all the awesome products that have come out, go to kaijubattle.net, because usually Mike has everything laid out there for you to take a look at. And he does a really good job of archiving all that information. So if there's something you're interested in, or if you just want to check out what was released on Godzilla Day or around this time, go to kaijubattle.net, and I'm sure he'll have it up there. But I want to thank everybody here for coming. This was a fantastic stream. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
On behalf of myself, Adrian, Eric, and the rest of the Monsters with Attitude, Danny, I love you. You're one of my best friends. Kim, I love you too. You're always fun to be around. Kyle, I bow to you, sir.
Yeah. Oh, you're not worthy.
Thank you. Thank you, Kyle, for being such a positive influence in this community for so many years. The influence that you had on Kaiju, I never got a chance to tell you this, but the influence that you had through Kaiju Cast was the reason why a lot of us, I would assume, podcast and do the streams and do the things we do. So thank you for being here, and thank you for participating in this conversation, sir. We really appreciate it. So
appreciate that.
Now it's time for the best part of the stream, shameless plugs. Kim,
Hi.
go ahead and plug whatever you want to plug, madam.
All right. So on YouTube, I'm known as Kaiju Kim. I have a weekly talk show called Chill with Kaiju Kim that goes live every Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Tomorrow, I'm having on Jim from Resurrection Toy, so that should be fun. Okay. I make other wholesome and delightfully stupid content related to Godzilla and his fellow kaiju. So if you're into that, then check out my channel. That's me.
Danny?
That's all I got.
You're a plug machine. Go ahead.
I am a plug machine. I kind of. We're gonna have to talk about your choice of words after we close out.
You did that on purpose, and you know it.
Hold on a sec. Am I allowed to cancel them too, Kim?
Yes.
I'm not going to this time, but I'm going to keep that in mind for the future. Well, my major kind of thing I got going on is the Godzilla novelization project, which is coming up on its 5th year. My gosh, I can't believe that. Which is, for anybody who doesn't know, is an ongoing. It's exactly what it sounds like. I am novelizing all of the Godzilla films, one chapter at a time, and publishing each novel serialized for free online. They're adaptations of the Japanese versions. That I'm keeping it. This is a very research-heavy project. I've been doing it forever. This year has been embarrassingly slow for new chapters and new stories and new just anything GNP related, because my life has been in the toilet for most of the year. It's been a bit of a rough time, but I'm getting back into the swing of things. I'm gonna actually have a new short story for the GNP out next week. Awesome. I'm working on it right now, trying to get it ready to go. I won't say too much, but it involves Terror of Mechagodzilla.
Ooh.
Yes. Well, Terror of Mechagodzilla and one of the characters from it. I've been planning this one for probably 2 years now, and I finally decided I need to get it done, so it's going to get done. If reading the Godzilla movies as books sounds cool to you, or at least interesting, check out my work at GodzillaNovelizationProject.com. If you'd like to follow along with the project, updates, see some really just ridiculously bad monster puns. Follow my Twitter, GNP it's Denzilla93 _GNP on Twitter. I'm also on Facebook. The Novelization Project has a Facebook. You can email me directly. There's a page on the website for contact if you want to talk to me directly, if you want to shoot me an email, if you want to give me encouragement, if you want to review what I've written, or if you just want to talk about Godzilla. I love talking about Godzilla. I've met a lot of really, really wonderful people through this project. I've been able to make amazing connections, and the amount of support that I've gotten for this thing over nearly 5 years just never ceases to just humble me and blow my mind. It's absolutely incredible, and it just keeps getting bigger, weirdly, and it really is cool. It really is cool. I love doing it. This next year I'm gonna be back on my game. The bad stuff is in the past. I'm trying to get away from that. I've got a lot of cool stuff coming up, and I did actually just recently clear a Patreon goal, because I do have a Patreon as well. For getting research material and such. And I just cleared a goal to start producing physical merchandise, t-shirts, stuff like that. So that's coming for the GNP. I'm going to be talking to artists here coming up soon for designing things. And I have a couple people in mind as well. But if you want to hear me continue to ramble about Godzilla stuff, I've been on, I don't know how many different Godzilla podcasts. I've been on a lot of them. Being ridiculous. You can hear me voice acting on Nate Marchand's Monster Island Film Vault. You can hear me do I'm all over the place, and I love it. I just love it. So that's about all I got.
Yeah, Kyle.
Oh, where do I start? I will actually start with the fact that I have been neglecting the Kaiju Cast YouTube channel for a long time, and just uploaded a new video, I think last week, where I shot it when I was in Japan a couple of weeks ago. The Gamera 3 suit was on display at Tokyo Hands in Shinjuku, and so I went and shot a lot around the suit, and it's a quick little 3-minute video or something like that, but I'm hoping to do a lot more of that when I'm actually living in Japan. And then, of course, every month we have Collect All Monsters. Our next episode is the 19th of this month. It's going to be it's going to have a segment called Godzilla Era Wars, where each of us has been assigned one of the Godzilla eras. We're picking our favorite Godzilla and physical iteration, material iteration of that Godzilla in our collection, and talking about that. It's going to be a fun time. I'm sure we're going to talk a little bit about the Godzilla Day stuff too. But that's what's coming up for Kyle and his crew with Collect All Monsters.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Eric?
I'll be continuing to hang out with these other two guys with me with Monsters with Attitudes. We got a show. I don't think we've hashed it out yet. We might do another show this month. We're still hashing it out and everything like that for the date and the theme and stuff like that. So stay tuned for that on this channel. Then I also have my own personal channel, the Bearded Kaiju Unboxing Reviews, where I just sit down and just review and unbox stuff that I get. I like to show off what I get and just kind of show everybody, what it's like, what's the pros, what's the cons, anything that, that you guys want to see. You guys can always message me on Messenger. You can contact me on Instagram, Twitter. I just got on Twitter too. I just made my own Bearded Kaiju account on there, so you can do it that way. But yeah, I just like reviewing stuff and unboxing new stuff that I always buy. I'm always buying stuff. I don't know how or why, but I do anyways. And no, it's because I love this stuff. I love showing it off. I love talking about it, and it's so fun to just show off to everybody, what it is. So, but yeah, just look out for that.
Yeah, Adrian, you want to close us out?
Sure. So, of course, like Eric said, we might do another show this month. But I guess we got to figure out who is available for the rest of the month, and then we'll announce that pretty soon here. I've been going absolutely insane with posting videos on my YouTube channel, Godzilla Train 1090. So I'm taking a small break, but I am going to get the Dr. Serizawa Toho Maniacs figure review out probably next week or two. More like I have a short week next week, so I'm probably going to pump that out next week. And one more thing I did say, I did forget to say I did for Godzilla Day. I did a photo shoot as well. So that photo shoot is already on my Instagram, Godzilla Train 1090, and on our Facebook group, Kaiju Collectors. And as Eric and Michael both said, they said it last night as well. I'll say it again today. We are handling the figure of the year discussion once January starts.
Yes.
So once the polls get up, go vote. I don't want to,
Yes,
because
vote,
I swear to
vote,
God, if the 66 set loses because no one voted, both of these gentlemen are gonna kill somebody. So please vote.
Whoa, whoa.
It's not crazy now.
So go vote. Go vote.
I did not.
guys.
I have never called for violence, sir.
He says that now.
I only question people's sanity. I never call for violence.
Well, I know. I can't even speak for Eric. I know. So, because no matter what figure wins, if it wins because 10 or 12 people voted, I'm gonna be pissed off as well. So make sure you go vote for that once we get those polls out. We'll have 2 shows talking about that. I think the first show is going to be that first week of January, and then we'll tally up all the votes and everything probably before the end of January. So get ready for that. And for sure in December, I'm going to have Miss Kim back, as well as some other YouTubers. We're going to talk about, in December for sure, we're going to talk about the millennial era of Godzilla. So we're going to talk about all those films, another retrospective of that era of Godzilla. And tomorrow, I'm going to actually plug, if he's still in here, Donnie Winters, because I was on going up with Godzilla with Donnie Winters, and his show is dropping tomorrow, I think, at Kim. Give me a hand here. What time is it going to drop tomorrow? I think 3 or 4?
I think
It's
4
like
o'clock.
4 p.m. Eastern time.
Yes, thank you.
I
So
think
3
so.
o'clock my time. Got it. So look out for that, guys, on Donnie Winters' YouTube channel.
Cool.
And I'm always involved in Kaiju Ramen. I got a few podcasts, the Power Trip, and I'm involved with Kaiju Ramen Magazine. If you want to learn more about those projects, you can go to Kaiju Ramen Media because it's all there. KaijuRamenMedia.com, I should say. So if you want to learn more about that project and all the things that me and Nate and Travis and a lot of other people are involved in, go to KaijuRamenMedia.com. So again, thank you guys for coming.
Yes,
this was a
thank
blast.
you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
us on. This was great.
This was fun.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, until next time, Kaiju family. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Later, guys.
Later, guys.
Happy Godzilla Day.
Happy Godzilla Day.